Hi. Alright, let me find my intro. Yes. Don't be loud. Don't be loud. Don't be too loud. Please don't be too loud. Okay. We want stress-free tonight. Hi. How is everybody? Gotta send it over to my channel on Discord. Give me 1 minute. This intro getting old. My friend told me go on another intro and he asked for just a new one. My friend did this for me. Of course, I changed up the music, so because it sounded funky. Something was going on with it. Maybe the transferring it. You doing okay tonight? Are you getting tired? Is it getting dark out sooner? You ready to go to bed early because of the melatonin creeping in the brain early? Happening to me. Sure is. Alright, here you go. Could have done that, but shoot. Why not? Just go ahead and do it. Because I'm in a really mellow mood tonight. Just let you do it with me. A little intro doesn't hurt anything. Trump's getting ready to make an announcement here in 56 minutes. So, what do you think it'll be? I wonder. So, if I'm still on in 56 minutes, which you know I will be, then we will see what's up his sleeve. It'll probably just be, I'm announcing I'm going to be president. No, you're not. They're not going to let you. Just, everybody, just, wrap your head around that he's not going to be president. Things aren't going to go back to normal. We can try. Sure, go for it, Trump. Do it. I want you to. But what I don't want is that stinking, nasty, hokey pokey. All right? If you get in there and you start touting that, then you will lose your base right. That should be like your first thing when you get in office. Just expose that whole thing. And if you don't, then I have no respect for you whatsoever. All right. I am slow like a granny, okay? And I have no idea where I have my Twitter page up. No big deal. I pop it up again. It's just hard for me to get two things going at once when your brain's on slow mode. I'm on slow mode right now. But I did take a nap, so I'm awake. I'm awake. No hokey pokey for you either, Sherelle. That's right. Good to see you. Alright, so there's been another attack in Istanbul. Let me make this bigger. How's that look? Does everything look good? A little bit slow starting off here. I gotta get my other page up. Just so I can have two. Somebody let me know midday, or Sherelle let me know if my thing goes off. See, when you say thing, it actually comes in handy because the algorithm, or, you know, it's kind of like, well, what, say, wait a minute, what thing is she talking about? But if you can read my mind and I say thing, then it's lost, but you know what I'm saying. So thing can come in handy. Alright, let's get started. So yeah, Trump's gonna make a special announcement here. One more thing. I need to twist this a bit because I'm not sitting straight. Oh wait, I don't see me. Oh man, what did I do? Am I in the right hand corner? No, I'm not. Transition? Can you see me? Can you see me? Hi. Can you see me? Am I waving at you? Because on my screen, I'm not there. You guys just looking at a screen going, wait a minute, what is she doing? Why is she? Oh, okay. I'm there. Alright, it's just me. Alright, Christy, get it together. Get it together. Everything's good. Don't get all hyper. Just relax. Everything's okay. I'm stressed today. Are you guys stressed at all? Do you know what's coming? Do you realize what's coming? And you're like, no, I don't. I don't realize what's coming. I know something's coming, but I still don't get it. What's coming? Well, I'm going to show you what's coming. Ooh, did you see that? Oh, Pentagon. I was like, oh, right. They're going to talk about the diesel. No. Okay, so if you go back and you look at my video I did on diesel, they had the Pentagon guy up there. Different Pentagon guy. Okay? But he wouldn't answer the questions about the diesel. So what do you think that means? They're not going to tell us. That's what that means. But look it up. Look around. Start looking at your roads. I meant to look at the highway on the way home. I was going to see like if there was a bunch of big trucks. Because I didn't see any in town like I normally do. There's your first clue. Less big trucks on the road. Alright, this girl, I can't even play this. I can't even play this. Like, you'll have to, I'll put it in the chat. And then if you want to watch it, you go right ahead. But it's dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. And I think the only reason they let her go on so long is because she looks like a soccer mom. Oh, she's not going to say anything bad. We know her. But she starts talking about what's in that book that's in the library. And she's like, I checked this book out of the library and I'm not checking it back in. You can charge me if you want to. Or order you a new one. Why give them that idea, though? They probably were like, oh, that needs to go up in flames, like the name of the book. Let's just leave it checked out and, you know, the librarian not order it again. I think I caught a jihadi over there. Maybe it's in Minnesota or something. Oh, no, here's another jihadi right in my face. Right there's one, and right there's one. But yeah, you can go look on that. See it. Hi, Babylon. I like your name. Babble on. Babylon. That's very nifty. Very good. Alright, this is blowing my mind right here. We've got Iran sentences 15,000 protesters, mostly all women probably, to death. Sentences them to death as a hard lesson for all who rebel. All the rebels. All those girls, you take off your little scarf, then you're going to die. She's got some sort of makeup or something showing like she's crying tears of blood because she can't show her hair, you know? It's not nice. Hair's a nice thing to have. It's your glory. You don't want to see my glory? See my glory? I need to put some dye on my glory. I'm going to dye my glory tonight. Or maybe in the morning. But yeah, I went out today and took care of some stuff and just looked around. Saw some more cameras going up at Food City. Not that you see them go up. It's just now there's one like every 10 feet. And for me to point it out doesn't mean that I steal, because I don't. But I think it's an invasion of your privacy. Because, I mean, you know, what if your boobs like coming a little out of your bra or something? Not that I do that in the grocery store, but I'm saying somebody might like literally need to, you know, take care of an itch or stick a finger up the nose, or and you got people watching like while you're trying to, you know, you shouldn't be sticking your nose. You shouldn't be sticking anything up your nose in the grocery store. Don't do that, because then you might get something on your finger and then you get it on everything, you know, and then somebody get your stuff. All right. Texas declares invasion at the U.S. border and authorize unprecedented measures to defend the state. This is your new governor. He got in again, Governor Abbott, and he's declaring an invasion. It's about time. It must be bad if they're, and I've got showing a paper of that a little in a minute. So we got a second attack in Istanbul. We love our Somalis. We love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. An image of a Somali woman will be published by PKK accounts a little later. It will claim that the woman detained in the Istanbul attack is her cousin. In her speech, the woman only conveys her condolences to the Turkish people and says she's sorry. I'm so sorry. My cousin blew you up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So here's some of that explosion that just happened tonight. This was 2 hours ago. You might be able to turn, no, if I can't turn it up. A car explosion. It's pretty big too. I mean, the size of the, I think there might have been two. Definitely that one. What?
The text be enlarged.
The text.
Yeah, for the chat.
Oh. Fine. We will have the text showing, and thank you, Cheryl. Now this one won't be so big though. Okay. We'll just leave this one small. okay? You little narcissist. Hey, Spudsy! Good to see you. The fire trucks got out there and put that out. Alright. Looks like they got it under control. Alright, here was some more of that fire. 20 seconds worth. Oh, there's no sound. We love our Somalis. We love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. Okay. I just added in a little music for you. See, it looks pretty big right there. It was in Petlama, Istanbul, Turkey. So they hadn't had one since 2017, okay? And then all of a sudden they get one 2 days ago, and then today, here's another one. Dang it. Look at that. They took down his tweet. Well, I don't know why they did that, but there it is. That one was from the other day. Never mind. I was afraid I was going to do that. But yeah, here's this one. I don't know if anybody was hurt. You know, maybe it was an individual type attack. Somebody in that car. I was talking about the words to the articles. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I can put it. Well, it's okay. Well, I think it'll be okay like that too, though. Might make this a bit bigger. No, not really. The only way to make it big is just to hit the, you know, well, that made it big, but that's a picture. The videos, they take up full screen. But, okay, so you're talking about the text? It's probably thinking she can see the chat as she's watching. It's better the way you had it before. Let's see. The words. The words to the articles. Are you talking about like right here? These words? I don't know what you mean. I mean, all I got this thing right here. Woo! Woo, 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 woo! Woo! Big, big, big. Istanbul. And it doesn't last for very long. I mean, like, when you click, it goes away. So you have to keep clicking on it. I need to find one. I mean, I can go do what Norm showed me. Is that better? There you go. Alright, there you go. Alright, so let's see. This one is Representative P. Flugger. I want to know how many of the 600K people matched the terror watch list. By definition, they got away. So you don't know. How can you say that the border is secure? So Governor Abbott, he's on it now after so many years of the pouring in people of the very worst type. And I'm so pissed. They're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. Oh, oh, oh. They're gonna stab your wife, your son. Ooh. They're gonna stab him with a butcher knife. And then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis. We love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. That's some good coffee, but it's getting cold. I might have to make another pot. I've had 2 cups today, can you tell? Well, I had one earlier, and then this one's about right there, so. Coffee's, I think it's supposed to calm me down because it's so good, but it hypes me up because it's caffeine. And I just try to drink Sprite, so that don't have any caffeine. So I can afford to not get a heart attack drinking more than 1 cup. Alright, let's listen to this guy and we'll go fill her up again.
How many of the 600,000 people? No, we have 2 minutes left.
I know, but I feel compelled to.
Oh, you're
don't
gonna
have
talk,
the time
buddy.
to do that. I want to know how many of the 600,000 people match the terror watch list.
Well, Congressman, by definition, they are gotaways.
Okay, so you don't know. And so how can you say that the
We
border
don't know
is
how many
secure?
terrorists we
It's-
got.
The American people aren't buying it. We're not buying it because
We're not buying
the
it.
deaths that are happening in our communities. I've invited you to come with me. I was in Del Rio the day before you got there when the 15,000 Haitians were there. I've been to El Paso. I've been to the Rio Grande Valley. You're going to hear more on that later. Let's put up another slide because you're not going to answer that question. But I don't, while we're putting up the next slide, do you maintain that we have operational control of the southern border?
Congressman, let me just say one thing very briefly, and then I'll answer your question. It is very difficult to answer your question when I'm not given the opportunity to do so, number one.
As my colleagues have said.
Number two, I do feel compelled to correct inaccuracies that are contained in your question for the benefit of the American people.
The accuracies are, the facts that I have stated are reported by you and your department.
Congressman, so we are dedicated to resourcing the United States Border Patrol with additional personnel, with additional technology, using barriers advisedly where they are most beneficial.
Okay, that's not my question.
To deliver enhanced security.
Mr. Secretary, thank you for
Are you a little embarrassed, buddy?
I've heard you say, and President Biden, and this is your legacy, okay? The American people can count.
Yeah, 1,
We can
2,
count.
5.
There's a humanitarian crisis
There's
at our southern
100
border.
million
I've been down there. You and President Biden have
in that
continued
border.
to ignore this problem.
120
and fiscal year
million.
22 was the deadliest year on
20,000
record.
million.
More than 800 migrants died. Do you remember the 53 that died in a tractor trailer in the heat of July, south of San Antonio, Texas? This
I remember.
is the legacy. The American people are demanding that you secure the border.
Those didn't get away.
You have testified under oath today that it is secure. It is not.
The gentleman's time has expired. The chair now recognizes the...
He's not even bringing up, though, that they come in and then they do something, stab your daughter at the mall, and then they get arrested, and then ICE comes, and then they just let them out again, and then they go stab your son at the mall, and then the cycle continues. So what can you do? And then you got people like Pelosi who want to live in a sanctuary city, at least one of her many houses that she scammed us all for. That's my coffee. I think I have another one of... Okay, this is the explosion that happened just now in Poland. It's, you know, don't get worried yet. I mean, it was a misfire, okay? But it could be next time it's not a misfire. They're getting ready for something. This one's only 9 seconds, so. See, I mean, it made a big hole, hit some equipment, maybe one person or something. It's not, if they're gonna hit Poland on purpose, they're gonna hit Poland hard, which I think something like that's coming. Stop sending money to Ukraine. Did you know, stupid Biden is asking Congress right now as we speak, 4 hours ago, for another $37 billion to send to Ukraine after the FTX stuff, or FXT, or whatever the crypto is that was a scam. That was our government involved in that scam, by the way, if you didn't know. Okay, so the circle goes, you're paying your taxes. They take your taxes. They're like, we're going to buy FTX crypto with your tax money. No. No, no, no. Can't do that. We're going to take your tax money. We're going to send it to Ukraine. So then they send it to Ukraine. They got people in Ukraine that invest in the FTX crypto. And then those people that invest in that give money to the Democrats so that they can win elections and things. So, therefore, basically, they're taking your tax money and they're buying crypto. Yeah, they're taking your money and they're giving it to the Democrats. Okay? So stop sending money to Ukraine. How do we stop them? How do we get them to stop? Oh, dog. You're messing up my hat over there. No! What did you do that for? You just dropped my precious hat that I'm making on the floor. What's wrong with you? You better get over here and apologize, boy. Get up here and apologize. Tell all the people you're sorry. Come here. Get over here. Come here. Come here. Over here. No, they don't want to see your tail. They want to see your head. Come here. Come here. Come on. Up. 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 Alright. Here. Let me get you. There you go. Say hi to the people. Hi, people. Hi, people. Hi. Hi, people. No, don't lick me. Don't lick me. No, no. Some reason, that one's tongue is different from my dog, from Daisy's. I mean, I adopted this one, so. Just more slobbery. I don't like slobbery dogs. Okay, I'm gonna go get my coffee. What do I got for you? Let's see. Oh, Tony Ann's here. Hello. You like boxers? You want one? No, I'm just kidding. I've fallen in love with it. Oh, I get to show you Klaus Schwab's newest. Look at this evil guy. Alright, I'm gonna make it big. And hopefully you can hear it good. 1 minute, 22 seconds. I'm gonna go get my coffee.
Of course, if
You
look
might
at
have
all
to
the
turn it up
challenges,
yourself. I don't
we can
have.
speak about a multi-crisis, an economic, a political, a social, an ecological, an institutional crisis. But actually, what we have to confront is a deep, systemic, and structural restructuring of our world. And this will take some time. And the world will look differently after we have gone through this transition process. Politically, the driving forces for this political transformation, of course, is the transition into a multipolar world, which has a tendency to make our world much more fragmented. And for these reasons, events like this one, the G20, and so on, are the very important connectors to avoid a too great segmentation.
Oh boy. Alright, you want to see my, I know, it's Klaus Schwab. He's going down, don't worry. God's got this one. He's like, you're an evil dude, and I'm laughing at you. That's what God says. God's laughing at your wickedness. See? And I did it a rim like that. You want to see? Right here. That's about right for one layer, and then I'll have to make it about that much longer from there to there so I can double it. Now, my smart little daughter, she said that she just takes 2 pieces of yarn, does them both at once. I'm like, you're so smart. See, I do everything the hard way. So, I'm making this hat for possibly someone of great importance. Por favor. Okay. But right now it's a little thin, but it's very soft. This yarn's very soft. It's called the Big Twist. But it wasn't like expensive yarn or anything, but it's a little thin or something. So yeah, 2 layers works good. All right. So actually, thank you, Rocky, because then people got to see the hat. Yes. Okay. Feeling a little better today. Well, that's good. I hope that this brightens up your day, being here, Tony Ann. It's so good to see you again. I miss everybody so much. Miss being in there in the chat with you. Okay. New York Federal Reserve and multiple global banking giants. Get that word, giants? Because it's the tech giants. Now we got banking giants. It's all connected. It's all related. They're the giants too, because they know that, I mean, I don't know who's got bloodline of Nephilim. I started worrying I might have Nephilim blood, but you know what happens? You read the Bible and you find out the Nephilim, they don't have a heart. Not like a beating heart. I'm saying they don't have good in them. That's what it says. There's no good in them. And I have good in me. Sometimes it's hard to find. Just kidding. I don't know. I try to be good. So I think that if you want to be good, then you got good in you. So they're going to start a 12-week digital dollar pilot. So this is the shadow of things to come. They've got all your information by now. If you have a phone and all that, they have all of your, they've been watching you on these little black boxes, your camera, your TV, if you got a smart TV, your tablet, your phone, the store, the gas station, your maybe even your car. Like if you have a star, like a system in there, they know where you go. All these tracking and tracing things when you go out. I try to avoid cameras, but they're gonna be everywhere. They're over your home with the drones. They can be up there and look down at a coin on the ground and know which side's facing up. So they're watching. And they're waiting for their moment to start their trial, which they're going to do for 12 weeks. And then all of a sudden, you're going to have your digital mark of the beast. And it'll be like, you know, we starved you and everything so that you'll comply. So the whole diesel thing comes into play next. You'll see the east on this side first, and people say, oh, it's just the east. It's not the west. It's just up in there in the corner of the United States. This is not the whole United States. So it's that frog, you know, boiling in the water, and then, oh, now it's the whole East Coast. Well, that's okay. I'm on the West Coast, they'll say. Then it starts creeping over into the middle, and then it'll be over there on the west. Maybe last, I don't know. Where you just don't have anything in your grocery store. And then they'll be like, okay, well, it's been 12 weeks. We're ready to implement it. So let's take note. When did they announce this? 7 hours ago. New York Federal Reserve. 12. Let's see if there's an article on it. So we know when they started. People walk wearing masks. See why they got to bring that up. What's a digital dollar have to do with your masks? They don't want the money dirty. Their money's dirty. You got to be digital because you might get the corona. When's it going to start? Citigroup Inc., HSBC Holdings Place, MasterCard, Wells Fargo are among the financial companies participating in the experiment alongside the New York Fed's Innovation Center. They said in a statement, the project, which is called the Regulated Liability Network, will be conducted in a test environment and use simulated data, the New York Fed said. Pilot will test how banks using the digital dollar tokens in a common database can help speed up payments. Earlier this month, Michelle Neal, head of the New York Fed's market group, said it sees promise in using a central bank digital dollar to speed up settlement time in currency markets. Well, that's November the 15th, so you got 2 weeks left in this month. Then you got another month and another month. So 2.5 months by the end of the year. I guess I'm slow. So is that the first of the year? 4 weeks in December, 2 weeks, that's 6 weeks. 6 more weeks. So maybe Valentine's Day, somewhere around Valentine's Day, we might see them start implementing the actual digital dollar. February. I was thinking they'd do it by December, but I knew that'd be pretty quick. It's not far away though. We're almost to the mark of the beast, guys. All right. Higgins, did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters in the January, you know, the number?
Does the FBI have confidential human sources? Did the FBI have confidential human sources embedded within the January 6th protesters on January 6th of 2021?
Can't tell
Congressman,
you.
as I'm sure you can appreciate, I have to be very careful about what I can say about when
Even
we are,
now, because that's what you told us 2 years ago.
May I finish? about when we do and do not, and where we have and have not used confidential human sources. But to the extent that there's a suggestion, for example, that the FBI's confidential human sources or FBI employees in some way instigated or orchestrated January 6th, that's categorically false.
Did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol on January the 6th prior to the doors being open?
Again, I had to be very careful.
It should be a no. Can you not tell the American people, no, we did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol?
Gentleman's time has expired.
You should not read anything into my decision not to share information.
Director Ray,
confidential human
gentleman's
sources.
time has expired.
He's like, man, thank God that's over, because the guy points it out. Well, you already told us you did. So, why are you not telling them now? Because that's not the narrative, boys. We have to go with the narrative. We have to say what they want us to say. So, and that's to not say anything at all. So, plead the fifth. I'm just still thinking of that video where they were like, shut that up. When a cop, you know, pulls you over, you have the right to remain silent, so shut that up. Everything you say, I'm in trouble. Because I just keep going. Burp, 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 burp. Did you know this? Did you know that? Oh, man. It was pretty funny the other day. Yeah, I'll just leave that alone. All right, Russian attack on Poland live update. Pentagon says it's looking into reports that Russian missiles hit inside NATO territory. This is still not the Pentagon guy that I saw the other day with the diesel.
All right, we are told now that at the very top of that Pentagon briefing, the officials said that they have no confirmation of what the Associated Press is reporting, which is that some missiles went into Poland from Russia and that 2 people were killed. A Polish prime minister did, however, this is according to Reuters, called an urgent meeting of a committee for national security and defense affairs. That's according to a defense spokesman who was on Twitter. This committee is a large group of people. It's heads of defense, interior, justice, foreign affairs ministries, as well as various coordinators of intelligence agencies. It's a body that prepares and coordinates on national security issues and defense. The cabinet spokesman, Peter Miller, was not immediately available for comment, and the tweet did not mention what the committee was set to discuss. But obviously, this is a very interesting bit of timing.
Well, wait till you see. They're building up still for something. So see here, it says stray Russian missiles. So it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. It's just stray bullets for now. I mean missiles. Okay, here we go. This one I read to earlier today. What did the Biden administration know about the impending diesel fuel shortage? When did they know it was coming? What are they doing about it now? AFL has opened an investigation to answer these pressing questions. So, we're going to see what the American First Legal is talking about here. Washington, D.C. Today, and see, let me show you what the date is, because I'm trying to stay on top of the story, because it matters. This one really matters. November the 10th. This one is probably everything, and they're not telling us. This is like, we got a meteor coming. It'll be here in 2 days. That's probably what they're going to do. They'll be like, well, we let you know. Tucker came out and said it. Oh, I missed that episode. I just thought it was bull. I thought it's just that conspiracy theorist Tucker Carlson. And a bunch of other people that are now saying that this is true. So this is American First Legal. Today, America First Legal submitted 3 FOIA requests to the Department of Transportation, the Department of Energy, and the Department of Agriculture to shed light on the Biden administration's role in the nation's impending diesel fuel shortage. On October the 28th, Mansfield Energy, a major fuel and supply logistics company, issued a notice warning of an impending diesel shortage set to hit the southeastern region of the United States. The Energy Information Administration confirmed that the U.S. is facing a fuel supply crisis and claimed on October 25th, 2022, that the country only had 25 days of fuel supply remaining. October 25. It's been 1 week, 2 week. Today makes 3 week. That's 7 times 3 is 21. 22, 23, 24, 25. Saturday. Now, what I think's going to happen, they're keeping it cool and everything so they can make sure everybody gets their Thanksgiving dinner maybe. And then everybody can be thankful that they have a meal to share with the whole family. Can you imagine what this is going to be like if they announce it like right before Thanksgiving? Like, you know, I don't know. Saturday's supposed to be it, man. I didn't see many trucks on the road. People need to be like making videos of what they see with their trucks on the road. All right, let me keep going. That's why I'm freaking out. I just need my coffee. Come on. Calm down. Breathe. Birthing pains. Birthing pains. This baby's coming. There's nothing you can do. It's coming. Country only had 25 days of fuel supply remaining. Diesel fuel shortages will destroy critical supply chains, quickly leading to shortages of food. Now, medicine, if you need medicine, you better find alternatives to what you're taking. If you have anxiety issues, you better go out and buy you some chamomile tea or something. I don't know how good that stuff works. I have a little bit. I grew some chamomile, but I've not tried it. Some people say it doesn't work that great. And other critical necessities. I'm thinking about going and buying a couple bottles of Advil. But that hurts your liver and your kidneys. So, I don't know. Breathe. What is it that you love the best? I love coffee. So I went out and I bought 5 canisters today of coffee. And it was on sale for $9.99. Normally $15.99. But last year at this time, it was about $10.99. So even if, let's say they get a hold of some diesel somehow, some way, and they can extend it a little bit further, you're still going to see the prices of everything skyrocket. So if you like coffee, go get you a whole bunch of coffee and creamer if you like creamer, and it's almost just as expensive for the hazelnut. Oh, if you like to live, get some beans and rice and some water. Okay? All right, breathe. Breathe. Diesel fuel shortages will destroy critical supply chains. I said it again. Of course I said it again. I knew I was saying it again, but I want to say it again because I think we need to hear things like 25 times when it's this important. Because it'll just be, oh, what's the next story? And then you're like, why didn't anybody tell me? Oh, well, I remember Christy freaking out. She, like, went overboard with it. I think she's just crazy. Statement from Reed D. Rubenstein, American First Legal Senior Counselor and Director of Oversight. On January 20, 2021, the United States was energy independent. Thank you, Trump. And a net exporter of oil and gas. Today, Americans are paying record high prices for energy. The Biden administration has emptied the strategic petroleum reserves and has been reduced to begging Venezuela. Oh, well, we can't. We're going to get your oil. We'll give you some oil, but you got to let all of our third world country people into your country. That's probably some side deal they did. And Saudi Arabia. Oh, they'll be down there at the border too. You know, they think they can get in because they look like Mexicans. Did you know that? They got a little bigger nose. So if you're trying to tell, you know, which ones are the jihadis, which ones are the, well, I mean, you got cartels down at the border too that are Mexican. So I'm not saying everybody's a cartel or everybody's a jihadi, but there's a good proportion in here. We're just waiting. All right. So it's been reduced to begging Venezuela and Saudi Arabia to pump more oil. And incredibly, our nation is facing a potentially catastrophic shortage of diesel fuel. American citizens have a right to know if the administration's policies played a material role in creating this shortage, and what, if anything, the government is doing now, as winter approaches, to protect the supply chain and keep food and fuel costs down. What are they doing? Oh, you heard Biden, right? He said nothing. Do I have that? Oh, look here. Sorry. No diesel. Sorry. Let me see if I got another clip of Biden. Did you see him the other day? What are you going to do different? Nothing. That was his answer. Nothing. All right. I don't know. I don't have it right now, but you probably saw it. All right. Let's see. Get ready, people. Diesel is drying up. This was on the 10th. This was 5 days ago. It's drying up. Not going to make it till the 22nd. See? It's 4 days away. You better get out there right now before the store closes, because tomorrow might be empty. Our diesel supplies are being sent to Europe and Ukraine for a higher price. Thanks, Biden. Screwing America. This was Marfugel tweeting anonymous Western Mass. His picture. I took a picture today of the price because it was $4.95 the other day, but I didn't get a picture of the whole thing. I just got a picture of the price part, and it was available, so it wasn't like, oh, here's one with a bag on it. By that time, it's too late. But I saw school buses. You know what that means? There's not going to be school. Because they're not going to have enough school. They're not going to have enough gas. And I'm like, well, what about, like, it's just diesel, right? So people, but yeah, okay, so you might get gasoline at the gas station. But the big trucks are the diesel trucks that bring the food and the stuff. So that's, let's see. All right, it was 4.999999999 for diesel. And it was $3.99 for regular, $4.69 for middle. And same price, for Supreme as it is for diesel. For $4.99. $4.99. But I saw something for Canada, and it was like, was it $13 a gallon or something like that? Has anybody seen anybody in Canada over here in the chat room? Hey, Apple. Serbian, are you lurking? Are you there? Burping is good. Okay, Apple. Have another. Thank you. Yes, I like my shirt. So yeah, if we get Canada, somebody from Canada to tell us whether or not diesel is $13 a gallon, that would be nice. Here we go. Amazon lays off 100,000 people because diesel's running out. New England, not enough natural gas or fuel oil for winter. Money laundering by the Dems. Nothing to see here, folks. Go back to sleep. FedEx will begin layoffs next month. Breathe, breathe, breathe. So if you need any packages, and I do, I need 3 packages. I need to get that ordered. Okay, I don't want to pass out. Don't do that anymore. Heavy shelling across the whole country. Some areas go blackout, but all train stations are illuminated. All trains keep running. However, start delaying intercity train, and Kharkiv runs under diesel locomotive. We will withstand. So Kharkiv, that's in Ukraine, they're running out of diesel too. Here it is. This says $3 a liter, but that is, hold on, I don't know. I think it came to like $13 a gallon. Truckers who keep shelves stocked buy that fuel, so you pay higher prices on groceries and everything else. So go get your toilet paper before there's a fist fight over toilet paper. I don't want to go out when it's like that, guys. But I know I'm going to be like, I got to get a few more things. And then I'll go out and I'll probably get punched in the nose because I take the last candle or the last... Oh, I don't even know what people would fight over. Probably anything. If they're desperate enough, and it say you haven't done anything at all to get ready. Like, you're like, man, my favorite thing is a Kit Kat candy bar, and you go to the store, like I did see this the other day. This lady, she bought a whole box like this much of the Three Musketeers, and I was like, wow, you must really like your Three Musketeers. And she was like, yeah, I always get a big box like this whenever I go out, and it lasts a while. I was like, okay, well, I mean, I did buy some M&Ms yesterday. That's bad. No, you can't do that. But the world is ending. No, you can't do that. All right, so this liberal, she won Arizona, and I don't want to say, but they're getting anybody who's, look, if you want to get into politics, say you're a Democrat and you'll win. Okay, because right now is the season for just them just taking whatever they want. We'll just leave it like that. They're going to lock you down again. Brownstone Institute. They will lock you down again. It's coming. Carrie Lake responds to Jesse Waters. You know, they're just gonna be too nice. I can't stand it. I mean, don't worry, I'll do it next time. Oh, it's 8 years from now. No worries. No worries. I'll just keep fighting the good fight. And they do it by such a small margin. So 213, 188. So just a few thousand, right? 20, 30, 33,000 something. 33,000 votes. That's Trump. Next to you, defend her still today. Oh, down, I love this land. Where's it coming from? It's Trump. He's gonna save us, guys. He's gonna save us. Where is he? Oh, Trump, please save us. Please save us. Oh, from the hills of Tennessee. Glory to Ukraine. I mean, Donald Trump. Oh, I'm proud to be. Come here, come here. Oh, at least I know me. And then he died. He gave to me. God, we stand up next to you. Defend her still today. There ain't no doubt I love this man. Oh, God bless the USA. Where's my MAGA hat? Where's my MAGA hat? Save us! Save us! Save us, Trump! We need saved. You know what's going on, dude. You're gonna feed him a line of bowl. I got an announcement. I'm gonna fix it all. Don't worry. Just when you're sitting down to your Thanksgiving dinner and you're not have any gasoline, or your kids are home from school for forever, I'm gonna come in. And I'm just hang on for one more year. Trust the plan. Trust the plan.
And our entire family. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's a very special occasion at a very special place. Myself and our entire family. You and all of those watching. I want to thank you for the heart and soul of this incredible movement and the greatest country in the history of the world. It's very simple. There's never been anything like it, this great movement of ours. Never been anything like it, and perhaps there will never be anything like it again. There's never been anything to compete with what we have all done.
Nothing like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens, America's comeback starts right now.
He's gonna save us. I don't see where it's coming from, guys.
2 years ago, when
kidding.
I left office, the United States stood ready for its golden age. Our nation was at the pinnacle of power, prosperity, and prestige, towering above all rivals, vanquishing all enemies, and striding into the future, confident and so strong. In 4 short years,
here it is.
Everybody was doing great. Men, women, African Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanic Americans, everybody was thriving
Gravedigger.
like never before.
It's live. Hey, Theo.
There was never a time like this. We turned the page on decades of globalist sellouts and one-sided trade deals, lifted millions out of poverty, and together we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. When the virus hit our shores, I took decisive action and saved lives and the U.S. economy.
Saved so many lives.
And by October of the same year, America was roaring back with the #1 fastest economic recovery ever recorded. How about that?
Where's my stapler?
All of the incoming administration and all they had to do was just sit back and watch. Inflation was non-existent. Our southern border was by far the strongest ever. And because the border was so tight, drugs were coming into our country at the lowest level in many, many years. Importantly, after decades of rising energy costs, the United States had finally attained the impossible dream of American energy independence, which soon would have turned into energy dominance.
I fixed it. Now they're breaking it. We're going to fix it back better.
For the first time in memory, China was reeling and back on its heels. You've never seen that before, because the United States was outdoing them on every single front, and China was paying billions and billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs. The farmers know that because they got 28 billion of it. No president had ever sought or received $1 for our country from China until I came along, and we were getting hundreds of billions of dollars. Many people think that because of this, China played a very active role in the 2020 election. Just saying, just saying. Sure, that didn't happen. Instead of jobs and factories leaving America for China, they were for the first time ever leaving China for America.
You better tell it like it is, Trump.
Because of our historic tax and regulation cuts, the biggest in both categories in history, bigger even than what Ronald Reagan was able to produce, and he produced a lot. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea were in check and respected. They respected the United States, and quite honestly, they respected me. I knew them well. I knew them well.
Are they going to respect you now?
The vicious ISIS caliphate, which no president was able to conquer, was decimated by me and our great warriors in less than 3 weeks, and al-Baghdadi, its founder, was hunted down and killed. North Korea had not launched...
You said that stuff like 1,000 times.
North Korea had not launched a single long-range missile since my summit with Chairman Kim Jong-un nearly 3 years before. We developed a relationship, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
I'm mad at Trump.
Very good thing, actually, because look at what's happening today. My opponents made me out to be a warmonger and just a terrible person who would immediately go into war.
Stop crying.
They said during the 2016 campaign that if he becomes president, there will never be a war within weeks, and we will have wars like you've never seen before.
It
will happen immediately, and
it's
yet
inevitable.
I've gone decades without a war, the first president to do it for that long a period.
Oh, I've got trouble here.
The world was at peace, America was prospering, and our country was on track for an amazing future because I made big promises to the American people, and unlike other presidents, I kept my promises. I kept them.
You did? I don't think so. What about the wall? Huh? What about the wall? You keep that promise. It's not fixed. Trump.
Thank you very much. Under our leadership, we were a great and glorious nation, something you haven't heard for quite a long period of time. We were a strong nation, and importantly, we were a free nation. But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. For millions of Americans, the past
you've
2
never
years under
seen.
Joe Biden have been a time of pain, hardship, anxiety, and despair.
Yeah.
As we speak, inflation is the highest in over 50 years. Gas prices have reached the highest levels in history and expect them to go much higher now that the strategic national reserves, which I filled up, have been virtually drained in order to keep gasoline prices lower just prior to the election.
You better say diesel.
Joe Biden has intentionally surrendered our energy independence. There is no longer even a thought of dominance, and we are now begging for energy help from foreign nations, many of whom find us detestable.
Yes.
Our southern border has been erased, and our country is being invaded by millions and millions of unknown people, many of whom are entering for a very bad and sinister reason. And you know what that reason is. We will be paying a big price for this invasion into our country for years to come. Hundreds of thousands of pounds of deadly drugs, including
he's gone past it now.
fentanyl, are flooding across
Didn't bring
the now
up the
open
word
and
diesel,
totally porous
did he?
southern border. The blood-soaked streets of our once great cities are
We're in
cesspools
trouble
of
when
violent
Trump
crimes,
can't even come out
which are
and
being
say
watched
it.
all over the world as leadership of other countries
Lord
explain
Jesus.
that this is what America and democracy is really all about. How sad. The United States has been embarrassed, humiliated, and weakened for all to see. The
I'm gonna turn him off.
disasters in Afghanistan, perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, where we lost lives,
Give him a couple
left
minutes.
Americans behind, and surrendered $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world. And Ukraine, which would have never happened if I were your president, are something.
Ooh. I got a question, Mr. President. Did you know when there was the FXT or whatever, FXC or whatever that crypto is? Did you know about that one? How long has that been going on? Where money has been going into the crypto and getting laundered? Or do you know about any other laundering of money from the taxpayers? Or did you know about any stealing of the money from the taxpayers going on while you were president? You know, everything's gonna come out. You know, if you come clean, people will forgive, but this whole country's, we're going down the toilet. I'm sorry. The people in charge are like mafia. They're in control. Just have a facade of, I have rights, but tyranny's coming.
And even the Democrats admit that. That's something I've seen them admit over and over again. But our enemies are speaking of us with scorn and laughter and derision because of those two events. But there are many more. Even just today, a missile was sent in, probably by Russia, to Poland, 50 miles into Poland, and people are going absolutely wild and crazy, and they're not happy. They are very, very angry. Now we have a president who falls asleep at global conferences.
It's not funny.
Was held in contempt by the British Parliament over Afghanistan. Thanks to the words of wisdom, he said thank you to the wrong country for inviting him to a major summit on the environment, of all things. They fly for days to get there, and then he calls the country a name that was actually a country on another continent. And he's leading us to the brink of nuclear war, a concept unimaginable just 2 short years ago. You cannot mention the nuclear word. It's too devastating. The Green New Deal and the environment, which they say may affect us in 300 years is all that is talked about, and yet nuclear weapons, which would destroy the world immediately, are never even discussed as a major threat. Can you imagine? They say the ocean will rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 200 to 300 years. But don't worry about nuclear weapons that can take out entire countries with one shot. Something is wrong with their thinking. Under Biden and the radical Democrats, America has been mocked, derided, and brought to its knees, perhaps like never before.
We're on our knees.
But we are here tonight to declare that it does not have to be this way. It does not have to be this way.
Doesn't have to be. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it all. Don't worry. Vote for me. I'll fix it all.
2 years ago, we were a great nation, and soon we will be a great nation again.
Glory, glory, glory.
The decline of America is being forced upon us by Biden and the radical left lunatics running our government right into the ground.
Lunatics.
This decline is not a fate we must accept. When given the choice, boldly, clearly, and directly, I believe the American people will overwhelmingly reject the left's platform of national ruin.
Doesn't
They
matter.
will embrace our platform
They're
of
not gonna let
national
you.
greatness and glory to America.
Glory, glory to America. Glory, glory to Trump.
Exactly 1 week ago, our citizens voted in the important midterm elections. And despite a ridiculously long and unnecessary period of waiting, far longer, in fact, than any third world country, just a short time ago, the Republicans won back control of the House of Representatives.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Is it over yet? They're still counting.
And it was with a great Trump-endorsed candidate, Congressman-elect Kevin Kiley, who is a fantastic person.
Never heard of him.
A fantastic person. And I'm very happy it was his vote that did it. But we now won back. This happened just an hour ago. Much criticism is being placed on the fact that the Republican Party should have done better. And frankly, much of this blame is correct. But the citizens of our country have not yet realized the full extent and gravity of the pain our nation is going through, and the total effect of the suffering is just starting to take hold. They don't quite feel it yet, but they will very soon.
Very soon.
I have no doubt that by 2024, it will sadly be much worse, and they will see much more clearly what happened and what is happening to our country, and the voting will be much different. 2024.
Much different. How? How are you going to fix the voting, huh? How are you going to do it? How's that going to work?
Are you getting ready?
Tell us how to get ready, okay? Because we need details.
I am too.
Are you?
I am too.
Mm-hmm. You need clean water. You need a filter.
In the midterms, my endorsement success rate was 232 wins and only 22 losses. You don't hear that
blah, blah, blah.
From the media. And this is an elegant night and an elegant
I'll be right back.
Place, and I'm not
I need
going
to chill out
use the term
too.
fake news media.
Yeah, I can't take much more of
So we're going
this.
to keep it very elegant. But you don't hear that from the media. But I think you will, because people are starting to see what happened. That's some score. And in the primaries, it was 98.6%. But they were still trying to blame me. And the reason for the success and that unprecedented success rate is that the Trump administration changed our nation on trade, on securing the border. We're the strongest, safest border ever in the history of our country. On Islamic terrorism, we had practically just about, not that I can think of, no Islamic attacks, terrorist attacks during the Trump administration. And in fact, we got along very well with the various countries, including coming up with the Abraham Accords. That's a great thing, the Abraham Accords. but it's because of cutting taxes and cutting regulations at the highest level ever, and on building the greatest economy. Any time in the history of the world, there's never been an economy like we had just 2 years ago. Despite the outcome in the Senate, we cannot lose hope, and we must all work very hard for a gentleman and a great person named Herschel Walker, a fabulous human being who loves our country and will be a great United States Senator. Herschel Walker, get out and vote for Herschel, and he deserves it. He was an incredible athlete. He'll be an even better senator. Get out and vote for Herschel
Look
Walker.
how fast
We elected a group of
going
incredibly talented America First leaders who will be stars of our party for many years to come.
Oh,
In
he's
the
saying
popular
con
vote,
artist.
another thing that's not discussed for the House,
Trump,
we must
Trump,
remember
Trump.
that
Bye bye,
Republicans
Nancy.
won 5 million more votes, the largest margin in many, many years, over the Democrats. 5 million more votes. That's a big thing. Breaking the radical Democrats' grip on Congress was crucial. So, in other words,
Impeach Trump,
because
somebody
of our
said.
great congressmen and all of our great congressmen and congresswomen, we have taken over Congress. Nancy Pelosi has been fired. Isn't that nice?
I don't think we have a choice. Okay, so I'm not going to listen anymore of him. Sorry, but I have a couple other things to show you. We watched a lot of it. I don't have a whole lot more. All right. So I guess he was maybe in Mar-a-Lago. I don't know. But yeah, I got a couple more things to show you. Hi, Grave Danger. Is that my Serbian friend? Or no? Never going to be anything like it. Oh, good. Grave Danger's got a lot to say over here. Can't get elected again to many never trumpets. We are at the fruit if even Christie trashes Trump. Oh, that's funny. I can't help it because you get your hopes up. You know what I'm saying? You get your hopes up and you think, there's hope for America. There's hope, 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 hope. And then you have all this hope and then it gets crushed. And then there's all these promises. Because like at first he's like, I'm not a politician. I'm like, okay. I can get behind somebody that's not a politician. Then he turned into a politician. And he's rich. So, and then, you know, like anybody who gets in those big positions, they've got some skeletons in their closet, so they're blackmailable and all that. It's just a failed world. And I hate to bust anybody's bubble that thinks that things are going to be okay. But Jesus told us things are going to wax worse and worse. That means get worse. It's going to get worse. So if you don't prepare your mind for that, you're going to like go into Stockholm syndrome or something. All right, here's where we were. FedEx Freight to begin driver furloughs next month. This was 3 days ago. So they're talking about December. If you don't got your goods by December, you're not going to be able to afford to get your goods. And it might be sooner than that. You know what? I should find out more about that. Let me see what I can find out in the next couple of days about the post office and like who would know? Government employees, would they know? How about Steve Quayle? Does he know? Let's just look up Steve Quayle. right, let's see what he's got for his alerts. Wait a minute, I saw the alerts. You know, his is a Q, right? Quail, Q for quail. All right, let's see. Be careful. Let's see, November the 12th, 3 days ago. Be careful what you bite into. Reports of old and moldy food repackaged with new expiration dates. Gross. See, I ate that salmon the other day. And I think it was old. And it was a wild caught. It was supposed to be good. Watch what you're eating. Look at the color of it. Look at the smell of it. Like, I don't want to be eating things that aren't natural either, if you know what I'm saying. Reports are coming in from different parts of the country. Always break open and smell it first. Some of the bread, hamburger buns, different foods, and even cheese now are moldy. I just threw out new food that I bought from the Redacted in Clarinda, Iowa. The mold was not visible through the package. The package looked new and the dates were good dates, but the food inside was moldy. When I fixed something to eat and bit into it, tasted weird. Wondered what it was. Each individual food had the same weird taste. Got to looking at it and saw I'd already eaten a big bite of moldy food. I threw a lot of food out. It was awful. Then was talking with a friend. She told that she had done the same thing. Threw out her bread. She bought 2 loaves of bread, got home, discovered they were moldy. It's not just the bread, but different foods. Oh, this is awful. The prices have gone up so much. We're throwing it away. Just like that. And her husband and her husband have been badly sick for the last 2 to 3 weeks, even. You know, I bet it's not just Redacted store only that is selling moldy food, but it's all over the country. Anybody else have that issue? Moldy food, bad food. All right, a large number of police are deployed in Hazou district of Guangdong, China, to suppress the protests following an anti-lockdown protest. Well, you do not want to protest in Iran unless you want to be sentenced to death. 15,000 people sentenced to death for protesting against their hijabs. So here's the Chinese. They're in their suits. It's the Ghostbusters. Doesn't that look like the Ghostbusters? Or Star Wars? Hard to say. I'd like to see a balanced budget. Yeah, go over your budgets. Go over your what you're spending money on. I think I'm going to cancel my phone. Just have to try to save some money because I'm not going to be able to heat my home this winter. And I'm not trying to be silly. I'm saying that, like I saw one report, 28% increase in their electric bill. So what happens when... Actually, I probably should turn the heat down because I can handle it a little colder right now because I'm a little pumped up. All that coffee. It's popping off in Kiev. Yeah, so if you can get some propane or a little stove, even like a you can get like a 55-gallon bucket. Trash can, you know, a 55-gallon, not a trash can, metal 55-gallon drum. Call your city, like the city, ask the people at the dump, where to get one. I think that's what I did. and ask the people at the dump. And you don't want one with a lid and be like, oh, I can cut the lid off. Don't do that. And don't get one with some sort of methylene or some sort of chemical, or I don't know what they put in those drums, but you don't want nothing like where you're gonna have to like wash it out or anything like that. You can get one for like less than $50, and then you'd be in your yard with the 55-gallon drum like the homeless people, at least, to keep warm and live. So, but yeah, I think there's gonna probably be a lot of fires, the explosions, fires, where, or people are fall asleep with their fireplace on or something like that and set their houses on fire trying to keep warm, or they're like, oh, they ain't got no more couches because they had to burn their couches to keep warm. What if it comes to that? People burning their books to stay warm. All right, this was 12 hours ago. This is huge right here. Look at this. Kiev. I think it's popping off over there. Big time. Look at that. Massive. Big bada boom. That's big. So that's Kiev. They were celebrating the other day. Alright, these two get into it. I'm not gonna play that, but basically this guy here was for the FTX or whatever that crypto was, plus a bunch of other stuff, and he's dissing this guy, and they have points to make of each other, but I don't care. This is a little schoolgirl doing, oh yeah, watch this. So first she writes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 1 goes in the 2 spot. And then she starts at the bottom and starts 1, 2, 3, 4 up this way. But I got one better. If you use your hands like this, okay? And I'll have to turn it like this so you can see it better. So 1, you put, okay, wait, let me see. 9. Okay, that's your first one. That's a 1. So you got 9. And then 9 times 2. So you put the 1, 2. You put the number 2 down. You got 1, 8. That's 18. Okay, this only works for 9s. 9 times 3. So 1, 2, 3. Put that one down. You got 27. See there? Okay. 9 times 4, 36. See? 9 times... Wait. Okay, you get the point. You just keep going like that. It's weird when you turn your hands around. It like messes my brain up. You get it though. Cash is about to vanish. Wall Street runs a 12-week test of crypto dollars with the Fed. So that's what we were talking about earlier. So around Valentine's Day, your love of money will is the root of all evil. So around Valentine's Day, they could implement the love of crypto. A crypt is like a death, right? Alright, so have you authorized CBP agents to release illegal aliens into America without identifying or basic biometric data like fingerprints? Also, I wanted to say, anytime you have information like this that they're allowing you to see. So what happens with these C-SPAN places, they go and they sit in front of Congress and you think, oh, this guy, he's so good, he's for us, and he's allowing us to hear the down and dirty details, you know, then that's on purpose. There's an agenda behind it. Just remember that when you hear this stuff.
Mayorkas, for the record, are you aware or have you authorized CBP agents to release illegal aliens into America without identifying, screening, or vetting them properly, or harvesting even basic biometric data like fingerprints?
Congressman, our nation's sovereignty stands strong, and our brave men and women in the Border Patrol and throughout U.S. Customs.
Are you aware, have you authorized CBP agents to release illegal aliens into America without having properly vetted, identified them, or collected at least basic biometric data like fingerprints?
Congressman,
I mean, you got millions coming across.
Congressman, our
gentleman from Ms. Higgins, allow the secretary to answer.
It's my time, Mr. Chairman. If I want to reclaim my time, I will. I'm going to move on without an answer. Mr. Chairman, are you asking for me to yield you time?
No, I'm the chair.
Then I'm going to reclaim my time.
Look, we don't.
Moving on.
No,
Secretary Mayorkas.
The gentleman from.
Are you interrupting my time, Mr. Chairman? Or are you requesting me to use your time?
I'm trying to make sure that we conduct.
You're interfering with my 5 minutes, Mr. Chairman.
Well, then the gentleman will.
If you request me to yield you time, I'll give you time.
No, but that's not the procedure.
But that is the procedure.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
So,
of course it is.
Look,
I reclaim my time, and I want this time back. Secretary Mayorkas, have you used your authority to suppress exculpatory evidence presented by CBP agents who've come under public attack and condemnation by DHS and the Biden administration? Have you used your authority to suppress exculpatory evidence presented by CBP agents who've come under public attack and condemnation by you and the Biden administration?
2 points, if I may, Congressman. Number one, in response to your second question, I don't even know what you're referring to. And with respect to your first
I'll
question,
take that as that you're on the record as saying no.
U.S.
You have not used.
So, all I'm trying to say is they go back and forth. They get y'all, emotional and confused. And the reality of the situation, what is happening, is that they have the authority to put military at our border. They have authority to shut our border. They have authority to put people in charge, like ICE, to take the criminals and haul their butts back to their country where they came from. They have the authority to fingerprint them, biometrically scan their eyeballs when they come into our country, inject them with whatever immunization things, put an ankle bracelet on their ankle, make them come into court, and if they don't, then kick their butt out of the country. But all this goes on, and then there's the getaways. They have drones, they have satellites, they have a half a wall, they could finish the wall. But all this goes on with the cartels being allowed to be in charge. MS-13 comes in, Pelosi's like friends with them. Oh no, they're not animals. We're gonna treat them like human beings. We're gonna treat them like they have the right to say their piece. Okay, well, they got 3 years till their court date. So in those 3 years, they're here illegally. If they commit a crime, they're not a citizen, so they don't go to jail. So they kill your daughter in a car accident, and they get away with it. Something is broken. So let's just keep it real. And all this back and forth, it's just politics. Woody Harrelson says, we live in a completely corrupted world. I agree. Where every government is just a bunch of businessmen working for a bigger bunch of businessmen, and none of them give a poop about the people. The sad fact is, no one knows how to change it because no one knows how to take on the corporations. And that's the sad fact. Here's the thing where it shows that where the Texas declared an invasion at the U.S. southern border and authorizes unprecedented measures to defend the state. Deploy the National Guard to safeguard our border and to repel and turn back immigrants trying to cross the border illegally. Deploy the Texas Department of Public Safety to arrest and return to the border immigrants who crossed illegally, and deploy DPS to arrest illegal immigrants for criminal activity. Build a border wall in multiple counties on the border. Deploy gunboats to secure the border. Designate Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Enter into a compact with other states to secure their borders. Enter into agreements with foreign powers to enhance border security, and provide resources for border counties to increase their efforts to respond to the border invasion. Don't you think this should have been done all along? I mean, what a bunch of incompetent fools we have in charge. Hey, bald head. How much oil has under the soil? Yeah, but we're not bringing it out, the Royal Apple. He says he's not going to do anymore. Biden says he's not going to start any new oil projects. Everything that's been shut down, he's not going to start it back up again.
I can't have trouble reading this.
Reuters,
the Tanya
Get out of there. This is what we got to work with.
I can't have trouble reading.
I could do a better job, and that's not saying much. Yeah, I couldn't do much better, but somebody can. You know, who would you put in charge? I know who I'd put in charge, only because I'd put Alex Jones in charge. That's who I'd put in charge, because he knows enough people that are scumbags, because he's, you know, revealed a lot of it. He's just been watching for such a long time, and he's seen enough of the scams. And I'm not saying he's perfect or anything, because he's got some blind spots, and he admits to that. That's what he calls them, blind spots. But at least he's got the guts to be like, no, we're not putting up with this. And then he knows who to put in charge, because he's interviewed a lot of good people, and he's been watching, and he just knows who to put in charge. But I don't trust anybody, really. So, but I mean, Jesus. I trust Jesus. I trust the plan. I trust the plan of Jesus to let evil be evil still. That verse keeps coming to my mind. Let the righteous be righteous still. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. If you're for righteousness, if you're for truth, then tell people the truth. Don't be afraid. And whatever you're doing, just do it the best. Do it for Jesus. Don't do it for yourself. Do it for, you know, oh, I'm going to be rich, or I'm going to have a name, or whatever. Just do it for Jesus. And that's storing up your treasure in heaven. Anything you do with faith, hope, and love those three things remain. So, and I just do this here, what I'm doing, because number one, I like watching the news. I like seeing just the whole thing playing out and the prophecies of things that are gonna happen are like happening right in my face, and it's exciting. It's scary. It's sometimes it's overwhelming, sometimes it's really sad. It's very emotional to go on that roller coaster to see it, but once you see it and you know that Jesus had a plan and you can point people to Jesus as you're doing this, that's what I like doing. I like pointing people to Jesus. I say he's hope. And no matter who you are in this world, even these mass murderers right here, they can be forgiven. These are all the mass murderers for 2021. So, the mass shooters in the United States for 2021. There's a lot of them. And that's just the next time there'll be pages. Okay? Look at that. There'll be pages now. Next year there'll be pages. And we could add some big people on this list. These are just like the little people. What about the big people who've committed mass murder in the past 2 years? They're not on that list. I mean, we should have a whole list of their faces. All right, this guy's talking about the climate change, and he's a physicist. Let's hear what he has to say.
Deadly wildfires, the smog-filled cities and poor harvest are being seen by some environmentalists as signs of climate change. Let's now cross live to London to discuss this with Piers Corbyn. He's an astrophysicist and also founder of Weather Action. Good to have you. Thanks very much indeed for joining us live there in London. So what we're seeing here is a drastic change in climate, aren't we?
Well, climate has always been changing, but this has nothing to do with man. In fact, we predicted that there would be extreme heat in East Europe and Russia this summer. And it's caused by a certain circulation pattern. CO2 does not cause circulation patterns. What causes those is a combination of solar activity and the state of the phases of the moon.
But hang on, Piers, excuse me, just a minute. You say this isn't caused by man. How come they're reporting this heat wave is recognised as the worst in 1,000 years of recorded history in Russia? And surely
of course,
man has got something to do with this, hasn't he?
No. Nothing to do with it. The only connection is man is here at the same time as the sun and the moon are doing things. You see, a very similar situation happened about 132 years ago, where there was the same sun, earth, lunar, magnetic states. There was heat waves in Russia, and there were also floods in Pakistan as now. And in the previous few years, there was also floods in the English summers, also 132 years ago. So these things are dictated by solar activity in the moon. They're nothing to do with mankind, and those who say that are just trying to make money out of carbon.
But are we not going to see this? Are we not going to see this again next year, the year on? I mean, it's quite recent that
that's a very interesting question. These things do come in bursts, and we're working on that very question, those forecasts. We did say there would be a series of wet summers in England, for example, which we've had. Now, will there be a series of these very hot summers in Russia? We don't know. We have to work on that. But I assure you, it's nothing to do with carbon dioxide. And if you stop driving around Moscow, it won't affect next summer one jot.
Not one jot. So I think the whole thing about shutting down the oil and all that,
deadly wild.
They're gonna blame it on us and everything and make you feel bad. Well, you just do without this diesel and your food and all that. Just hang in there for a year, because we need you to, because of the climate, okay? Because the climate's gonna take some time, and you know, time takes a lot of time, and if you have time, then you can spend more time with your children, and time away from work, and time with your children in a FEMA camp, and time moving rocks from here to there for your fuel and your Matrix food. I just dread what's coming, man. Yeah, this whole FTX, so if I have this right, my tax money goes to Ukraine. Ukraine gives it to FTX crypto. And then FTX crypto gives it to the Democrats. So I donated to the Democrats, right? This was a place in Miami Beach that they just blew up. Or discarded of. JFK posted something here, and I was looking at these clouds and I see like all these faces in it, and I'm thinking, wonder what all happened in that place, in that hotel, if big people were in it. Beatles? Is there a place called Beatles, or were the Beatles visiting there? Anyway, I just caught that. Alright, this is important right here. So, Zulfagar, I don't know how to say that. Zulfagar. Sounds pretty funny. Iranian Fatah 110 and Zulfagar missiles were used in a Russian attack against Ukraine for the very first time, okay? So this seemed like historically important to me, and I found a new channel. So I want to go over here to his channel, and let's see, where was it? 224, minute 224. So you can see what a Zulfagar looks like. And
missile to high accuracy. There is an Iranian short-range solid-fuel ballistic missile in the Fatah family. Unveiled in 2016 by Defense Minister Hossein Degan, the missile has a reported range of 700 kilometers. On September 25, 2016, Iranian Defense Minister Hossein Degan announced that Iran's new Zulfagar ballistic missile, a member of the Fatah family, has a reported range of 700 kilometers. The newest member of a group of solid-fueled short-range ballistic missiles, Iran claims it can equip Zulfagar with a submunition warhead. The Iranian Ministry of Defense released a video allegedly showing the Zulfagar being fired and hitting a small target. The Zulfagar may be derived from the Fatah 313.
Some of these missiles, they weigh over, most of them, they weigh over 1,000 pounds. And they're like dragging these things out to the desert. How much diesel fuel are they using to haul these things around the world? Like in the planes, or the bunker buster fuel, or whatever you call it, for the ships. All this fuel that they're using is, we use so much little for the trucks and stuff based on what they're using compared to them. Anyway, I wanted to point that out.
In February 2019, Iran's Revolutionary Guards Corps displayed a new larger version of the Zulfagar, dubbed the Dezful. The Dezful reportedly has a range up to 1,000 kilometers and was displayed during celebrations of the 40th anniversary of the Islamic Republic. Major General Muhammad Ali Jafari made the announcement of the new missile in an underground facility, saying displaying this missile production facility deep underground is an answer to Westerners who think they can stop us from reaching our goals through sanctions and threats. 5 in January 2021, Iran tested Zulfagar and Dezful missiles as part IRGC SNAP drills. In September 2020, Iran unveiled a new anti-ship version of the Zolfaghar, named the Zolfaghar-e-Basar. The Zolfaghar-e-Basar adds an optical seeker to a similar airframe as the original Zolfaghar and has a similar 700 kilometers range.
How far is 300 miles? How far is 600 to 800 miles? So, like, from one end of the United States to the other? Like, that's pretty far. If they put these in a ship, I saw some, like, in the water, coming out of the water. They got enough stuff. Like, Iran is selling this stuff to Russia. They're, like, sending this stuff over there, guys.
Iran has also displayed a third missile based on the Zolfaghar, the Qassam, named after former IRGC Quds Force Commander Qasem Soleimani. The Qassam missile is a two-stage design with a reported range up to 1,400 kilometers. Its second stage includes guidance fins that resemble those on the Zolfaghar, but its first stage is slightly wider. The evolution of the Zolfaghar missile into longer-range variants seems to demonstrate Iran's continued prioritization of developing solid fuel replacements for its liquid-fueled missile arsenal.
Look at that.
Since the early 2010s, Iran has incorporated a series of structural and guidance modifications to improve the range and accuracy of the Fateh 110. The original Fateh 110AS range of about 200 kilometers, 124 miles, has grown to roughly 500 kilometers, 310 miles, with the introduction of the Fateh 313. The Fateh Mabin includes an electro-optical seeker to further enhance missile accuracy. The Fateh-type missiles carry payloads of about 450 kilograms, 990 pounds. Zolfaghar, Desful, and Haj Qasem Soleimani employ the same basic design principles of the Fateh-type systems, but have slightly larger diameter rocket motors that propel them to longer ranges, approximately 700, 1,000 and 1,400 kilometers, respectively, 440, 625 and 880 miles. The larger
880 miles.
Missiles are believed to carry warheads of about 550 kilograms, 1,212 pounds. These solid-fuel missiles are battlefield weapons possessing considerable warfighting capacity because of their accuracy. Iran has a variety of drones capable of collecting and supplying target data for its precision-guided missiles.
See, and they're sending this stuff to Russia. So I looked up, see if I tweeted it. Just thinking I tweeted it. I looked it up on Wikipedia about the name of it. I must not have tweeted it. Okay, well, basically, I'll just tell you what it said. Zolfaghar. Okay, so they make one that it goes up and then it, like, you know how they send a thing up into space? It separates. So it's like not detectable. Something like that. But I was looking into the name of the Zolfaghar. Hold on, let me do it so you can see it. And it had to do with the, come on. It had to do with the, where's it at? Zolfaghar. The two Muslim religions. So, okay, so you know about the 13th Imam, right? I need to read you guys that sometime. About the Antichrist or the 13th Imam. So the Zolfaghar, the history of it goes back to the 4th Imam. and I can't remember where I read it at, but they were saying that this kid was like 9 to 11 years old or something, and shoot, I can't remember now for sure, but it had to do with when the Sunni and Shiite religions it's kind of split into two instead of just one like Islam. It's like now they have the sect of, and that was at the fourth imam, which is that little kid, and he was like 9 to 11 years old. So that has to do with the Zalfaker. I'm just wondering why they name these things certain things. Sometimes they name them after fallen angels and stuff like that. Or like Russia calls like that one the Satan #1 and the Satan #2. So I just kind of wanted to get an idea of the Zalfager. What a name to call something. Kyiv. A mass launch of X-101 missiles in Ukraine with Tu-95 bombers from the Volgograd. Volgograd? Oh, that's that region. Okay, I was thinking of that tsunami thing. Belgrade. Alright, more than 40 missiles so far. And this was 14 hours ago. So I don't know if any more of these have been launched. But 40 is a lot. So something was popping off 14 hours ago. Mass launch of missiles. Let's see what this is, 4 seconds. That was it? There's a mass launch of... This was just point of news. Let's see who you are. It's not necessary to take a face value, everything. Lavrov called Ukraine's conditions for starting negotiations unrealistic. Erdogan and Biden met on the sidelines of the G20. Oh, that sounds cool. Thanks, Point of View News. I'm going to play your little 40-second clip.
An official microphone. I'm going to move it. All right, thanks, press. Okay.
They're up to no good. Look at that. Look at their eyes. They're like so empty, aren't they? It's like, what are we doing next? What are they telling us to do now? I just feel like they're like being held hostage, or just seems so out of this world the way things are going down. It's like surreal.
An ability for, we're developing through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint.
Yay! I get to know how many times my dog farts, my cat farts, and my other dog farts, and I keep track of everything that happens where I go to the store, and let me track that for you.
That's, where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
We're going to work on that for you. We're going to make sure your smart meters are tracking your every move in your house, when you flush the toilet, when you open the refrigerator, if it beeped on the door too long, and left the door of the refrigerator open too long, minus some credit. Hey, there's Sacred Serbian. Hey, Sacred Serbian, I thought you were somebody else. I thought you changed. I thought maybe you were a gravedigger. I'm glad you made it. I mean, I don't know what you're saying, though, because you retracted it, but how's it going? Butter on turkey? Boy. And the bread. Oh my gosh. Rolls. Can't wait till Thanksgiving. I'm gonna do it up. Because if this is my last meal, I'm gonna have, you know what I love? Pickles with my turkey. Like Clausen pickles, you know? The spears where you can get like, ooh, that's making my mouth water. What about desserts? What do you guys like for desserts for Thanksgiving? Do you like the pies, the pumpkin pie, the key lime pie, the chocolate pie, the turtle dove pie, or whatever it's called, turtle pie with the nuts? Do you like nuts? Have a huge pan, but the paper bag, I can't see it. Okay, so you know, apple, I used to do that with the foil or the bag and all that, but I got a pan that is like a speckled, like it's a black pan. It's a lid, the big lid, like this big, so that it makes the pan like that deep. When you put the lid on, you get it, and it seals it up. There's something about it makes it a good turkey. Maybe put the foil in there too to keep the mess down, or not. Aluminum's not so good for you. Sacred knows. Says foil is poisonous to a degree too. They say it leaves traces of metals on food, which like goes straight to your brain. You start getting Alzheimer's, then you become the turkey. Detox because of the phone. I'm not sure you can do anything about radiation. You know? Like, I think the phone is a dangerous thing. I think I'm going to get rid of my phone. At least where they ping you from the tower to I don't know. It might be different than the Wi-Fi. I don't know. I want to get an EMF detector. How to prepare a turkey. Teach away. Cut 2 lemons in half and put them in the turkey. Midday. Don't be putting lemon in my turkey. Please. Lemon goes on fish. You can put some stuffing in there. Ew. No. No on the lemon. No. Scrub out the pan. Now coat the pan. Clean all the skin. Okay. So we'll have to have a talk about that lemon. He likes that lemon pepper too. Am I allowed to tell him that? Oh, wow. This, I gotta play this. It's gonna break up the mood of the detriment.
Is going to get worse.
Or it might make your detriment feeling worse. Because these people know.
empty as hell.
No one's in there, guys.
It's absolutely dead. Il y a personne. Regardez, on peut aller fouiller dans les couloirs, on peut faire absolument ce qu'on veut. Je comprends pas. Not many people were in there at all.
Like a ghost town.
Remember? We've just been locked down in Gloucestershire for an empty hospital. Look, I am so angry.
So there's nobody even in there? Nobody's in there. Nobody's in the hospital? How is that possible in a medical pandemic?
That's fake news, that's why. That's fake news, that's why. That's fake news, that's why.
Remember that statue? So, we just have to remember. This lady, I thought I'd go ahead and tell her story because no one's telling her story. And it's kind of sad. Very sad.
We had a home invasion. My fiance was murdered and I was wounded 6 times. The way I'm feeling right now, this country is going to shit. Now my question is when will South Africans start standing up when we have a minimum of 3 people dying per hour that is being murdered and nothing is being done to protect our South Africans? And my fiance was extremely brave and he had protected me with his life. And my question to you is, when does the crime affect your household? When does it become your family members that gets murdered? And why are we not taking action to start putting an end to this crime? Now, it's all great that you watch the good feel stuff on TikToks and Facebook and all of that, but guys, it's time for a reality check. Regardless of what you do, if criminals want in, they will get in. Regardless of the measures that you put in to protect yourself and your household, it's still not enough. And the sad reality of this is why are we living in cages while our criminals are running around, killing, murdering, stealing, raping, and we all just accepting it? I would like to have people start sharing the news of others. 24 days, not a local newspaper has put anything in on this murder. How many other crimes are we not hearing of?
Keshna Phoenix, it says, at Keshna Phoenix. So, you know, that's going on all around the world.
South Africans.
She's in South Africa, but, you know, it's happening, like, people are getting murdered so often in places like Chicago and LA and all these places, Philadelphia, and they don't even count it on the list of, you know, they don't count those shootings. They don't count those when they say, oh, this is how many for the country. So we're not hearing about it. So they got the Democrats in charge now, though. You can just guarantee for the next, till Jesus comes, that they're going to put people in positions of power to bring everything down. That's where we're at. Don't count on Trump getting in office. That's why I get so upset about Trump Apple. Well, Apple, I banned you. Who'd you ban? Who'd you ban? Is there a list that tells me who's banned? Apple? Better not be banning people. In the beginning. Hi, in the beginning. And Kate. Okay, what's 164 liters, Kate? How many is that? How much is your diesel in dollars? Can you figure that out for me? I know you can. Let me ask around. I give you an unban if you stop it. Would have been good if you talked with me. What you girls fighting about? Don't fight. Don't fight. Alright. I don't know what she did, but Apple, you better tell me what she did. Tell me what she did now. What did Kate do now? Liberalism. Yeah, I know. I like to dance, though, Sacred, so I kind of get into it a little bit. Because I like the dance. But we should be dancing about something good, not something like a Holocaust. This lady says this. I mean, you know, I can't really play that, but she's a cellular and molecular biologist. And they made me wear one the other day, so I'm a little bit ticked off about that. Oh, if only we could just like say what we want to say. Wouldn't that be like freedom of speech and all? Wouldn't that be great? Oh, I'm not distracted though. I'm a little too focused. I need a little more distraction. The Dutch minister who pushed the nitrogen law that grants the government the power to expropriate our farmers' land has a brother who owns online supermarket. Guess who invested $600 million in that company? Bill the fake meat Gates. This is what corruption looks like. I don't know what she's talking about. No more nitrogen. No more fertilizer. No more farms. That's what she's talking about, I bet. They don't want us farming. They don't want us having animals. They want us to live in a little tiny little box. China's revolting a bit here. These are COVID barricades. They're like, screw your barricades, I'm gonna walk all over your barricades. I'll walk where I want to walk. Oh, look out, here comes the drones. I might be replaying it again. Look at that kid, he's like, I'm on this, I got this. The guys in the white suits are recording him. Getting that facial recognition on him. What happens when they all get together? Like all 2 billion of them or whatever. Oh, you guys know about the Earth now having 8 billion people, right? That's like official now. The breaking news would be President Biden is missing the G20 leaders' dinner. We don't know what exactly is going on with the president. They called it an early lid. Let's hear what Ducey has to say.
Breaking news would be that President Biden is missing the G20 leaders' dinner. He is supposed to be at a supper right now, 8:10 in the evening here in Bali, Indonesia, with everybody that flew in. If you're the U.S. president, you spent basically 2 days flying to get here for a dinner like this. You got MBS there, you got Trudeau there. She is also there if anything was left on the table. Yesterday, we did hear President Biden tell us that he had a cold, and he has tested negative for COVID, despite the Cambodian leader from our last stop being positive now. But we do not know exactly what is going on with the president. They called an early lid. So we will keep you posted on what exactly is going on with. Breaking news would be that
he's going, duh. Is he like, he's gonna go to dinner and he can't act like that at dinner. Well, I wonder what President Xi's pronoun is. 8 migrant laborers killed in Mizoram stone quarry. 4 missing. I saw a video on this. Where's it at? Okay, here it is. There was some people on that truck. There was like people standing on that truck. Look right here. There's a dude. There's a dude. There's a dude. There is no running away from that. Terrible, terrible. That's terrible. 12 laborers trapped. Big accident due to stone quarry lapse in Mahanathal district of Mizoram. Let me just show you where it's at. India. Let's see. Here it is right here. I think. I don't see anywhere else. They're saying that's where it's at. Map of Mizoram in Hindu. So, pray for those people that lost their loved ones. All right, here's some sort of cloud maybe that looks like a it's not very long though. So, maybe it's not anything at all.
What the fuck is that? Like, that is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. It's like, it's so cool. What is that? What the fuck?
I mean, it's pretty pronounced, isn't it? That's weird, man. It looks like a UFO to me, kinda. Could be. It's possible. When I see things like that, I just like to... Could be just a cloud. All right, this is the report on the Biden laptop. Look how big it is. It's a whole book. There's some bad stuff in there. But, you know, they got this big report. Why isn't he in jail? Because he's got diplomatic immunity. Turkey to pursue targets in Syria. Official says after Istanbul blast. So there was a blast in Turkey, Istanbul. Today there was another one. And now they're going to bomb Syria. They're going to do something to Syria. What's in Syria? Damascus is in Syria. Keep an eye on Damascus. It's going to become a ruinous heap. That's Isaiah 17. It's still becoming a ruinous heap. So there's a lot of people without power in Ukraine. Okay? This is a city of 4 million people without power. This is Kyiv. And it's starting to get cold. Let's see what the temperature is in Kyiv. No power. 37 degrees. That's below freezing. No power. People are going to freeze this winter, guys. That's just inevitable. Ukraine and probably Russia, probably UK. We know that's happening. All right. I'm going to read your comments while we listen to this.
Jose Irizarry says they called themselves Team America, a group of jet-setting, high-living federal agents and prosecutors who were supposed to be fighting the war on drugs. But the former Drug Enforcement Administration star says they all knew that war
You're
was
not going to
unwinnable,
believe this.
so they were going to milk it for all it was worth.
The is a game. The drug war is a game. It was a very fun game that we were playing.
Gotta go.
The 48-year-old Irizarry pleaded guilty in September 2020 to 19 criminal counts, including bank fraud and diverting millions in drug proceeds. For years, the Department of Justice portrayed the San Juan, Puerto Rico native as a rogue agent. But Irizarry says the problems go much deeper.
They kind of painted me in this picture of that I'm this mastermind of what we were doing, and I wasn't the mastermind.
In fact, the DOJ has begun questioning as many as 24 current and former agents and prosecutors who Irizarry claims either participated in or turned a blind eye to his abuses. Former federal prosecutor Bonnie Clapper is not involved in this case, but says the system allowed this to happen.
Nobody was minding the house. No one was checking to see. There were no controls.
The case revolves around a fact that most Americans aren't aware of, that the federal government launders tens of millions of dollars a year on behalf of the world's most violent drug cartels.
You launder 100,000 and you can figure out who dropped off the money. You work that person higher up into the organization. You find out who the traffickers are. You do bank subpoenas. You find out where the money is going. So the goal was to generate targets, seizures, and prosecutions.
But Irizarry says it became more of a private slush fund for him and his friends. He has implicated a list of former colleagues in Miami, accusing them of lining their pockets and falsifying records to pay for parties and overseas jaunts.
It was mostly about drinking and girls. And then we sprinkled in a couple work things in there, but it was...
Okay, they're allowing some of these people to come out and talk about this. You know what I'm saying? So, they don't care that we know that they've been laundering money, taking tax money, partying with it, going on boat and excursions and sacrificing things. And drinking some things. They don't care that we know. We know, and they don't care. They're like, well, they know what our evil is, and we'll just keep being evil. That's why that verse keeps coming to my mind. Let the evil keep being evil. Keep partying, keep being evil, because the day is coming. Judgment Day is coming. It's right around the corner. And you think that you're getting away with it? You think that people like me and other Christians are being fooled, or we're not? We know. We know. We know what you're doing. God knows what you're doing. That's the important thing. God knows what you're doing. And if you don't repent, then no more excursions for you. I mean, no new body for you. No more indestructible body for you. No inheritance for you. Your inheritance will be hellfire. That's it. A worm never dies. That's your end. And people laugh at that.
It was more of a party first, work second type of deal.
I think this guy here might have some remorse. I mean, he might be redeemable, but if people get stuck in their pride and they're like, screw God, or, you know, screw that, I'm gonna have fun, or I love this world, you're just gonna get turned over to a reprobate mind eventually.
He says it paid for parties with prostitutes on a yacht in Cartagena, Colombia, lap dances at this now shuttered Dominican strip joint, dinner at this swanky Madrid restaurant, and tickets to a Real Madrid soccer match, even jewelry from the famed luxury boutique Tiffany's. The former Air Marshal and Border Patrol agent claims as many as 90% of his group's work trips were bogus.
Typical trip we would justify going for, we would make up either an interview or a coordination meeting, and we would determine where we wanted to travel. So we would make it wherever we wanted to go.
He might even be recruiting right now.
And he says no one complained because Team America was racking up numbers.
We knew the game. We knew DEA is about stats, so our cases brought them stats, and it got very good press. Everybody was happy all the way around.
All the way around, everybody's happy. And they probably have so many people like that. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people like that.
Around.
Sad.
Clapper worked on such pickup operations with other agencies during her time at DOJ.
Those agents were meticulous. We would consult before every pickup, and we had goals. For every dollar we laundered, we had to seize 2. If not, we shut the operation down.
She says alarm bells should have been clanging over at DEA.
It's almost like it became a ball rolling downhill. Launder more money, seize more money. Launder more money, take more trips to Europe, take nice trips all over the world, and seize more money.
At least 3 current and former federal prosecutors accused by Irizarry have faced questioning in the ongoing probe. The Justice Department declined to comment. In a statement to AP, DEA said Irizarry was a criminal who violated his oath and the people's trust. The agency says it has strengthened discipline and hiring policies to ensure DEA's integrity and effectiveness. An Inspector General's report slammed the agency for failing to oversee these stings. The audit found that DEA hadn't submitted annual reports to Congress about the undercover operations since at least 2006. Ann Milgram, the DEA's new administrator, has ordered an outside review of the agency's foreign operations, which is ongoing. Earlier this year, Irizarry agreed to speak with the AP in Puerto Rico before saying goodbye to family. He says the whole war on drugs is flawed.
The only way we can do our job is to have informants, and the only good informants are the ones that play both sides, and we all know this.
In January, Irizarry reported to the Federal Correctional Institution, Miami, to begin serving a 12-year sentence. He says the job turned him into someone he wasn't.
I should have been stronger, and I wasn't, and I'm not, I can't justify my actions. I should have known. I knew it was right from wrong, and I chose wrong many times, and that's why I'm here.
Alan Breed, Associated Press.
Okay, so I found a couple of things just now. So we're going to go over what Trump said just now. A couple of things he said. I can't believe it. Let's see. Kind of want to see what this guy says. Let's see what Alex Stein's up to first. So get just a little humor before we move on. We're almost done, so. But I do have two things Trump said, and then there's been a shooting in Los Angeles at a Target store.
Mayor Mons, it's primetime 99. I'm back, but I'm not doing good today. I recently lost my job at Bowman Middle School. Plano ISD let me go. The first administrative infraction is I got in trouble for making, well, let's just put it this way. I thought it'd be important to teach kids in middle school CRT, critical race theory. Because if people don't realize being white is one of the biggest problems that our country is facing is white supremacy. So I really want to make sure these young kids feel as guilty as possible. And so what I did was I made the white students pick cotton. And they said that that was inappropriate and that I was on an administrative watch. And then listen to this, Mayor Mons, follow me. And sorry I get distracted with Anthony Riccadelli. Anthony, you're my favorite council member. You remind me of my ex-boyfriend, Rodrigo. You guys both are built similar. Very handsome. What's so, is that funny that my boyfriend? See, this is bigoted. This is what I deal with all the time, Mayor Mons. And then listen to this. Listen to the new mask policy at Bowman Middle School. So I go in there and I put on my typical mask and they said, oh, that mask is inappropriate. It's too distracting. Let me ask you this, Mayor Mons, please explain to me how this mask at all is distracting when I'm literally trying to protect these kids from COVID, okay? And they're trying to say that this mask is inappropriate. Sorry, my husband, he's gonna get so mad if I'm speaking in my human voice. He's gonna make me sit in the kennel all week. But they're trying to say that this mask is inappropriate for students. I'm trying to protect myself from COVID. I got 5 vaccines, but everybody knows a vaccine is not enough, all right? So I'm out here, I'm barking every day. And these students, I'm trying to bark at these students. I'm trying to teach them something. I want them to learn. I want them to know that we live in a world of inclusivity and we need to be more inclusive. I'm a pimp on a blimp, but they try to look at me weird because I have this mask on. What's wrong with this mask? You know you like this mask. Everybody likes this mask. I'm in here trying to protect myself from COVID. And I'll be honest, it's not easy to breathe. Sometimes I have to open it up like this. And they're trying to say, oh, this is not good for spreading the virus. Let me tell you something. It's not about the virus. We have a mind virus. The city of Plano is not gay enough. And as a gay icon myself, we need to do more to make this city gayer and more inclusive. And that's why I think we need to have sex education for children as young as 9. We need to have sex education for children 8 years old. We need sex education at birth. Like as soon as they come out, we need to show a fetus.
20 seconds.
This is how you were here. 20 seconds. Well, let me just say, Mayor Mons, I need my job back. I was fired for wearing this mask. And my boyfriend, Rodrigo, my future husband, my fiance, I'm sorry I used my human voice. Please don't make me sleep in the kennel tonight. I love you so much. And Anthony Riccadelli, you're the most handsome council member I've ever seen in my life. I love you guys. Thank you so much. See you guys on the other side.
He's so crazy. He's so crazy. All right. Iran launches missile attacks on Kurdish I can't even talk. On Kurdish opposition group in Iraq. Okay. So that's going on. Iran's launching missiles on Kurdish people in Iraq. The sperm count has plunged 62% in under 50 years. Half the sperm count is gone in one generation. What's going on? If that was happening in the animal population, which it probably is, the animal activists would be on top of it. I don't want to hear Klaus Schwab again. Okay, you want to see it go to 8 billion? There it is. There it is. 8 billion people in the world today. It's official. 19 hours ago. All right, there's a meteor shower right now. It's gained intensity. It's going to peak after midnight in the wee hours of Friday, November the 18th, this Friday. So if you have clear skies, get out there and see the Leonid meteor shower. So beautiful when you see a meteor go through the whole sky. I saw one last year. I'm not going to play the history lesson. I mean, that would be boring. There was 3 dead in University of Virginia. I'm not sure what this one is. Fatal shooting of 3 University of Virginia football players. What? You guys heard this? The shooting happened just after 10:15 p.m. Sunday as charter bus full of students returned from seeing a play in Washington, D.C. From left to right, these football players are dead. Devin Chandler, Lavelle Davis Jr., and Deshaun Perry. The 3 Virginia football players were killed in a shooting on Sunday in Charlottesville, Virginia, while returning from a class trip to see a play. That's sad. Such, such a loss. These football players, they work so hard to try to get, to be pro and everything, and bright future ahead of them, and then to be shot on a bus going to a play. Wow. All right, another mega church and 58 other churches leave major denomination over the LGBT insanity. Yeah, it's getting really crazy, isn't it? Like, it's in your face. Like, you're going to have to deal with that as a church. You're going to have to draw a line. The United Methodist Church is accelerating its moves to become more accepting of LGBTQ people, leading to more divisions within the denomination and more departures from the group. Each of the church's 5 U.S. jurisdictions met separately this month to approve measures where LGBTQIA, whatever that means, people will be protected, affirmed, and empowered. Also, the church's second openly gay bishop was elected. So they're leaving the Methodist churches. Conservatives say the developments will only accelerate their exit from one of the nation's largest Protestant denominations. At least 300 U.S. congregations have already left the UMC this year, according to United Methodist News Service. Hundreds more are in process of leaving, and that number could reach the low thousands by the end of next year. Overseas, congregations in Bulgaria and Slovakia have ended their affiliation with the denomination, and churches in Africa are considering it. Many are heading to the newly formed conservative denomination known as, Global Methodist Church. That might be even worse. I see a cricket. Hello? Where's Kitty? Kitty! Oh God, do I have to hear a cricket? Please, somebody get a shoe. I'll be right back. I'm not dealing with that. Here comes the shoe. Where'd you go? Oh no, I'm too late. I'm too late. Shoot. I'm too late. Took off. It hopped somewhere behind something. Shoot. Alright. Have to hear cricket tonight, I guess. Alright, let me see what you guys are saying. Alright. Let's see. Let me get rid of this stuff. Alright, let me see where I was. There we go. The mega churches. Leaving the Methodist, LGBTQ, the Methodist Church, and they're going to a global Methodist Church. Is that any better? Alright, Victoria. That's Australia. More floods. Hundreds call for help as flash flooding and storms hit Victoria. Alright, they smashed some tablets on top of Mount Sinai for the launch faith-based climate push. So we should probably go over that. Jebel Musa, Egypt. An initiative to mobilize faith leaders worldwide to push governments to do more about climate change kicked off Sunday morning with an Israeli environmental activist smashing mock tablets of stone atop an Egyptian peak believed by many to be Mount Sinai to symbolize the world's failure to protect the planet. The idea was hatched in the run-up to the United Nations COP27 climate conference taking place in Egyptian resort of Sharm el-Sheikh by solar energy and entrepreneur Yosef Abramowitz and David Moran Wapner, who chairs the Jerusalem-based Interfaith Center for Sustainable Development. The Sinai Climate Partnership, symbolically launched at the ceremony, brings together the Interfaith Center for Sustainable Development, the Elijah Interfaith Institute, the Peace Department, the United Nations Faith for Earth Initiative, Abramowitz Gigawatt Global, and the Israeli environmental advocacy organization Adam Teva Vadin. So they went up there to the mountain and they broke some tablets, mocking the 10 Commandments, making up their own, and they're very general, stupid. I mean, some of them are like biblical, but some of them are general and stupid. You can go look at it if you want to, but I don't think it's significant as far as prophecy goes. I think it's just like a mockery. There was a 6.1 earthquake off central Japan, jolted Fukushima, probably allowing more radiation into the waters. Some boy, 11 years old, outscored Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking on an IQ test. British Muslim boy, Yosef Shah from Leeds. He scored a 162. Well, congratulations. Alright. The Republican in Arizona lost. As we figured, they just kept counting and counting until she lost. So Katie Hobbs won. I would say congratulations, liberal lady, but I don't think you deserve it. That's my opinion. Not allowed to talk about that one. This lady's crying because she wanted to vote, but she didn't get to vote. We should hear her story because, you know, she went to war and stuff, and she wants the right to vote, and she had to, like, really be in a battle mode in order to vote. If it'll play it. It's kind of like the patience she had to have while she was trying to vote. You're waiting and waiting as it's buffering, and am I even online? You guys still there? Am I live? Okay, so I'll just kind of tell you what she sort of said. It's not her words, but she's like, I'm here voting, and then the machines, and they wouldn't work, and they said I gotta wait, and I waited all day, and other people, I kept seeing them go, and they just kept leaving and leaving, and I'm like the only one that stuck around, and I finally got to vote, but there's all these people that didn't vote, and I just know this is happening all around the country, and I fought in a war so that we could have rights, and now they're just taking them away from us. That's right. So get your bootstraps, pull them up, go ahead and vote, do your duty, do it. I mean, it's still, I'm not saying not to vote. I'm saying when you go vote, it's not going to count. But you should still go do it. Even if you got to wait in line and you see everybody leave. If you're able to do that, sit there until the cows come home. Don't leave your place in line. Go ahead and sit there. Pee your pants if you have to. Sit there and you pull up your bootstraps. If you have to cry a couple tears, do it. Just keep voting. Because that's like the only thing we got. But don't just give up. That's where I stand today. Maybe tomorrow I'm like, screw it. You guys, I'm not going to do it anymore. That might be tomorrow. But if you're a soldier, soldier on. I'm just like I'm not strong sometimes. I just want to tell them to stick it up their rear end. But that's what we got. That's what we got to use. Like this guy, he's been deplatformed. He has lost his doctor credentials. He's standing up. I think I'm allowed to play this one. Because I don't think he goes into the actual hokey pokey. He just talks about what happened to him.
You know, as the data really started to emerge on vaccine safety, I could not remain silent. I could not. And it was pretty clear as the dialogue started to evolve that we were having a major problem on vaccine safety. The day they announced the vaccine mandate, the hospital must have gone to the press, and the two major newspapers in town published an article. Health system sues a skeptical doctor for vaccine comments, or some comment like that. And the allegations are that I am using the health system's name or my prior positions in making public statements. It's a clearly overt attempt at censorship. In fact, on my Wikipedia page, it's a whole section on COVID-19 misinformation. So they've already labeled me as giving misinformation, but in fact, I'm citing the literature. That's information. It's not misinformation. Now, doesn't this look bad? I've had a fake Wikipedia page made about me that claims that I'm giving COVID-19 misinformation. And now state medical boards are going to hunt doctors' medical licenses for misinformation. Who decides information and misinformation? But boy, do we have a David and Goliath. And I can tell you, I'm not going to flinch. And it's just, I am going to be incessant. I'm going to be dominant, and the truth will continue to come out.
Let's hope. Let's hope people get to hear the truth and they actually listen. How about the crybaby up here? No. See? She's getting censored. She's not allowed to say how her vote didn't. I don't know. We have to just see the spinning ball getting hypnotized.
You know, as the day...
I'm congratulating that guy. I like that guy. Peter McCullough. So these two are meeting for the first time. She and him. And he has to touch him. Okay, touching. She's touching his nose. He wants to touch him with his finger that he just touched his nose. Maybe he touched his nose before they shook hands and he's wiping his nose on him. Wiping his nose. These things, you should just read that. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? You should read that right there. Girls and boys. Yeah, Morflin's in Victoria. Don't drown out there. Alright, did you read it? Alright, the man who invaded Afghanistan and Iraq on lies, and the man who destroyed Libya, Syria, Yemen on lies wants to lecture us about disinformation. George W. Bush and Barack Obama will hold back-to-back disinformation conferences next week. That should be fun, don't you think? Because it's coming a time, this little window of opportunity that we're taking right now will be no longer. These are the good old days, okay? You get to hear the truth right here on Access Through Christ. And the main thing I want you to remember is the Bible. The Bible is the truth. The Bible never changes. You can count on the Bible. Read your Bible. It tells you everything that's going to come up. And you should know what's coming. More and more control and tyranny. And starvation and war and seeing waves roaring and men and girls and boys against each other in the household, 3 against 1, mother against daughter. They'll be unruly. They will hate. They will despise good. They will not believe the truth that could save them. And look at all these people. And I was just thinking, like, when people gather like this and there's like hundreds of thousands of people, say in Brazil, or this one's in Spain, massive protest over a failing health system. This is the result of firing tens of thousands of staff over their status of, you know, and a crippled economy due to failed government and EU policies. This is Spain. But I was just thinking, like, all these people gather together like that and they're protesting, so you know they're on that particular side and you want to do something. Those people are all just like in one little spot. That's scary. There could be things that happen in that. Just a conspiracy theorist. Let's see what Tucker's saying.
Link to neurodegenerative disease, myocarditis, Bell's palsy, liver disease, impaired adaptive immunity, impaired DNA damage response, etc. So it's possible, in fact, it's looking likely that the vaccine might suppress the immune system. This fact, the authors concluded, will, quote, have a wide range of consequences, not the least of which include the reactivation of latent viral infections and the reduced ability to effectively combat future infections, end quote. Now, again, we sincerely hope that's not true. But it's not just the conclusion of one scientific journal. The Lancet, maybe the most famous scientific journal in the world, released similar findings in February. The Lancet's piece was entitled, quote, risk of infection, hospitalization, and death up to 9 months after.
I just want to say some of these prominent journalists, people of high importance, people that are knowledgeable, and they might have some, hold on, I gotta find the I gotta find my sign first. I don't know if you're allowed to be saying that, Tucker. I mean, I did get this off of YouTube. Tucker. Alright, YouTube requires we indicate that some opinions in this video contradict the consensus medical opinion about the you-know-what, and that the WHO is the ultimate God in saying what goes on, and their opinion changes, so I don't know what their opinion is right now, and if they listen to the Lancet or who they listen to, but this is Tucker. He's already on YouTube, so it might contradict, it might not. I'm not sure, so I'm going to play it.
After a second dose of COVID-19 vaccine. A physician called Kenji Yamamoto made this observation about the data from the Lancet. He wrote this in a letter to the Journal of Virology, and we're quoting, the study showed that immune function among vaccinated individuals 8 months after the administration of 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine was lower than that among the unvaccinated individuals. Now your first response, if you're a humane person, to a line like that has got to be deep sympathy. Because people were misled, they were forced. Medical ethics thrown out the window. People were forced to take medicine they didn't want. And some of them may have been hurt by it. And you don't have to take this man's word for it. Pull up the Lancet study yourself. You won't find anything of the text of the article saying what Kenji Yamamoto said, which is weird. Why would the Lancet want to hide a major finding like that? We can't say. But if you look at table 3 in the piece, here's what you'll find buried in the data. Among people around the age of 80 who have been double vaccinated, that would include people like Joe Biden, the per capita rate of medical incidences, including hospitalizations or death, is nearly twice as high as the rate of serious incidents for the unvaccinated. This is 180 days after vaccination. What is that? And why is no one interested?
Next. TVs in Brazil are not showing this, unfortunately. We don't want a person with no morals to be the new president. Please show this to the Americans. You guys, look at how many people. Let me start over. Right now. Look at that. Look at those people. That must be millions. Like, oh, it's like, it can't be real. What if you had to go to the bathroom? How could you get through that crowd? That's a lot of people. Okay. Italy prepares a plan to take in 175,000 Ukrainian refugees. Aren't they already full with all of the migrants or illegals or whatever you call them over there in Italy. People are just overrunning the world. Okay, here is this in Victoria, Thomas. I want to show you this. Look at this. They opened up the dam again. Rain bombs. If you already thought we were living through biblical times, then check out what their cloud seeding has done to the Wayangala Dam now. Record dam spill swells Central West flood as more than 100 people were rescued on Monday evening. The SES issued an evacuate now. Molong floods. I think this was Victoria. Let me see. Hold on. Is that right, Theo? Tell me. Independent. Roaring water spills over dam. Heavy rain. New South Wales. Yeah. Raging river. There's some images of the dam. So, yep. Apocalyptic scenes. See if there's anything else over here besides that one of the dam. I bet Strange Sounds has something. Ha ha ha. Sure is. Commercial? No. Lightning strikes. That's pretty.
More than 80,000 homes across South Australia are without power. After severe thunderstorms smashed the state, authorities are warning customers in some areas will be without electricity until at least tomorrow due to the damage caused. South Australia recorded more than 423,000 lightning strikes and winds of up to 160 kilometres per hour yesterday. The severe weather system is now moving into Victoria, where residents are being warned of thunderstorm asthma due to extreme pollen levels and strong winds.
Thunderstorm asthma. Here's your rain bomb. All those little X's are lightning.
After widespread heavy rain across southeast Australia this weekend, conditions are now easing back to showers, but we are now seeing a significant flooding risk develop, particularly through parts of New South Wales. And having a look at the flooding situation map, we can see flood warnings extending all the way from southern Queensland into Victoria and eastern Tasmania. But the focus remains for inland parts of New South Wales, where major flood warnings continue. And there is significant concern, first, for Bathurst on the Macquarie River. We're already seeing major flooding, and we could see a peak of around 7 metres later on Monday, which is above the height of the levee.
What's 7
meters? And at Forbes
meters?
on the Lachlan River, we are expecting to see renewed major flooding from Tuesday, potentially approaching 10.8 metres on Thursday. And for many of these rivers, once we start to see the peaks upstream, we will have a better idea of what we can expect further downstream. Flood watches are also still current right across southeast Australia, so it is important that you have the latest flood watches and flood warnings for your area. And having a look at the satellite, what we saw over the weekend,
26
the water vapor
feet.
imagery shows plenty of showers and storms right across southeast Australia, extending up into Queensland and northern Australia on both Saturday and Sunday. The trough has now moved off into the Tasman Sea, but a low pressure system is continuing to push showers onto Tasmania and parts of Victoria. And having a look at what we did see over the weekend, rainfall observations in the 24 hours 9 a.m. Sunday show the highest falls are through parts of Queensland into Victoria and eastern Tasmania. But the focus remains through inland parts of New South Wales, where major flood warnings continue. And there is significant concern, first, for Bathurst on the Macquarie River. We're already seeing major flooding, and we could see a peak of around 7 metres later on Monday, which is above the height of the levee. And at Forbes on the Lachlan River, we are expecting to see renewed major flooding from Tuesday, potentially approaching 10.8 metres on Thursday. And for many of these rivers, once we start to see the peaks upstream, we'll have a better idea of what we can expect further downstream. Flood watches are also still current right across southeast Australia.
So yeah, that's a lot of water. And then if you get more after that, then it's already full. Where's it going to go? I mean, it's just going to keep flooding if they keep seeding the clouds. All right, and then now you've got like Florida, you got some droughts, and they got skulls that are emerging from the ground. And they're like, oh, we think it's from the Native Americans. How do you know? How do you know what the skulls are from? They're guessing Native Americans. And whenever they say Native Americans, it's considered an ancient burial ground. And then there's rules where you can't find things out anymore. Which is why the mounds and stuff, like up in Ohio, you can't find out about the giants that are buried there because they call it an ancient burial ground. But there might be giants in those mounds. So, skulls are emerging on a Florida beach after Hurricane Nicole. Let's find out what part of Florida, okay? Chastain Beach in southeast Florida. Human remains. It was just surreal just to think that this is something that we walk on a daily basis and nobody knows. Everybody's oblivious to it. Authorities learned of the remains soon after. Investigators are examining what they said are likely human remains of the indigenous AIS tribe of the Hutchinson Island, a barrier island along the Atlantic about 50 miles north of West Palm Beach area. 50 miles from West Palm Beach. Here's a picture of the skull. Ooh. Eerie. So, skulls are turning up. Okay, we're going to see what Trump said in a minute. Explosion in Louisiana. How does that happen? I mean, that's some sort of like grain silo or something. I don't see any smoke or anything. It just was like, and then boom. How does that happen? Is it from the sun? There's this guy going, oh no, my grains burn up. It just seems like there was a war on that stuff. Maybe that's natural. Maybe that happens sometimes. But, oh man, you can't understand what this guy's saying. But you can read it. And he's like going off on his officer.
Да нахуй мне нужен? Мы на войне строим будем ходить, блядь. Нет, а хули вы тогда это делаете? Да, серьезно? Хорошо, стоп, пацаны, давай сейчас. Какого хера мы пишем, блядь, бумажки того, чего нам не хватает, блядь. И для этого мы потом собираем тут толпу, устраиваем хуй пойми.
This is the Hunger Games, okay? They sent him out there with these basic uniforms when the Ukrainians have these, like, you know, stellar uniforms with with abilities to heal them, or, you know, ability to, like, if they get wounded, like, put some, the suit itself will, like, put something in there. I mean, they might have access to, like, the top technology, and these guys are out there in their rubber boots, and they're getting hit by drones, and this guy is like freaking out.
Это профанация, блядь. Имитация стрельб, имитация учений, имитация строевых.
They're making them do these exercises, drills, imitation shootings.
Я? Мало. Мало. По 15 патронов нахуй приходи стрелять. Заряди.
Load 2 magazines, firing an imaginary enemy at the tank training ground.
Изобразив, блядь, воображаемого противника на танковом полигоне, воображаемого
infantry at the imaginary enemy. Fire!
Противнику, блядь! Тра-та-та-та-та!
Imitating the gunfire. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta!
Сколько раз? Сколько раз? 2 раза на пристрелке и 1 раз на учебно-контрольных стрельбах. 1 раз мы... Помолчи, блядь. 1 раз мы были на полигоне для стрелков. Все остальное время мы на танковом полигоне занимаемся друг.
All the other times we're at the tank grounds masturbating.
Какое это обслаживание? Вас самих привести, посмотреть, может, внимательно.
You want to run around doing cohesion for us?
Вы побегаете, послаживаете? Ну давайте, пойдем прямо сейчас побегаем.
Right now.
Послаживаемся. Я вам покажу, как это. Давайте я буду говорить, пацаны. Я начал, я закончу. Базар идет пока только со стороны Минобороны. Как никакого базара. Я еще раз говорю, почему мы стреляем по воображаемой пехоте?
We are firing at the imaginary enemy infantry.
Противника. Где мишени, которые поднимаются, выдвигаются? Почему мы проводим тренировки по стрельбам на танковом полигоне? Что значит у нас определено? Я вам сейчас ваше место определю. Запросто. Я думаю, покажу. И оно более достойно будет, чем в данный момент. Да. Ну, здорово. Правда? Да. У нас, блядь, мы 2 недели лежали. Из 2 недель там 5 раз ходили на стрельбы по 15 патронов. У нас... Да это все подразделения.
It's the Hunger Games. That's all I can tell you. It's just it's ridiculous. They're failing on purpose. They're not failing on purpose, but they're being set up to fail. It's supposed to go on for a long time, so they're having to just throw them in there and give them bad tanks, the old stuff, and it's just I can't watch it. Syrian air defenses were activated over Damascus, trying to intercept the divine rain of apocalyptic fire and brimstone. Several terrorists were eliminated in Damascus, okay? So the Damascus is back in the news again. It's getting ruined. It's becoming a ruinous heap. Hunter Biden becomes the hunted, and amid claims of underage pics on his laptop. You saw the book. It's huge. But this was front page news in Australia. So they're exposing the pedos. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, I really like her. I want an audit of where every single penny has gone in funding Ukraine. Everyone's okay with that, right? And I already hit the like button on that one. I'm okay with that. Foreign aid goes to Ukraine. I'll say this one more time. Ukraine invests in FTX, the crypto. Then FTX donates back to the Democratic Party. So this is money laundering 101. This is us, the taxpayers, donating to the Democrats. Israel warplanes target Shirat airport in Homs countryside and violent explosions occur in the area. Israeli warplanes target Shirat airport in Homs country. So this was Damascus again. Or, Syria. Close to Damascus. This is how the milk happens. It goes in the brain that the baby wants some milk. The brain puts the signal to the whatever capillary thingies that produce the milk, and then the blood changes over to milk somehow. They don't understand it. And then the baby gets all that milk. Isn't that cool? This guy's gay in the military. I don't really want to play that. This is a pilot exposing the poisons that are being sprayed in the sky. I don't really want to play that. You should know about that by now. Tirana, Albania. This is more protesters. They don't want to die. It's the economy's being crippled in Albania. There's protests going on all over the world. People that know that they're being squeezed. See, here's where it said the Armenian Christians were responsible for the terror attack 2 days ago in Istanbul. That one that I showed you. Alright, then we're going to get to Trump. That's that guy again. See, I don't want to play her. This was a fire in the Netherlands. Syrian refugees set fire to the building housing them in Amsterdam this morning. At least one arrested. I guess they didn't like their accommodations. These refugees. They're like, I'm going to just set fire here and then you'll have to harbor me somewhere else. That's a big freaking fire though. Hope nobody was hurt. So that's in Netherlands. They got the gas chambers out again. And they're making them really cute and enticing. So you just want to climb in. And if you don't, then you're a racist. So they're getting out the death pods for Scotland. Austrian former doctor known as Dr. Death. Do-it-yourself death pod. I've shown this before. It's been a while, but they're just bringing it back out in the news. Like, if you want, you can stick it to the man by just persevering and just do the best you can do with wherever God puts you. This is the PKK fighters. We showed that yesterday. So yeah, I'm up to date on that. So I got 3 more things. This is what Trump just said. One of these is unbelievable. All right, here we go.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
There it is. There's the announcement.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Glory to America. You did it. You did it.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
He doesn't look too happy, though, does he? That should have been, he should have come out and first thing said that, because they started, I think it said on here, they silenced him. Hold on. Oh, I didn't retweet it. The mainstream media
America great and glorious
stopped filming or stopped putting out his thing on the mainstream news. They went on to another story like I did. And after they did that, then he announces it. So, like, half the people already tuned out. But at least we have the clips, you know, of him doing it. But he should have done that first thing. He should have gone up to the podium. He should have said, look, they are really taking over, aren't they? We've got to stop this. We've got to fix the border. I know, like, it didn't get done. Like, he should have, like, I know that the, you know what, is like, they're retracting a lot. They're coming back and they're saying we want amnesty. Like, he should have come out and he should have said, like, there's all these things that, you know, could have been done better, and I am up for it. But he come out there kind of pathetic. Like, look how he announces himself. One more time.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
It's like he's not too sure about it. And then he's got this sort of fake smile right there. I don't know. I think he knows it's not gonna happen. They're not gonna let him. He already knows. And then they got 2 years to fix it. They got 2 years to do the ballots the way, and then, you know what, kind of stick a pin in the balloon and just like deflate, and then now he comes out and says it. Like, I don't know, just bad timing, and I don't know. I got too much high expectations, I guess. Alright, so this is the one I was like, whoa. So, let's hear what he says about the drug cartels and stuff.
Responsible for death, carnage, and crime all over our country. Every drug dealer, during his or her life on average, will kill 500 people with the drugs they sell, not to mention the destruction of families. But we're going to be asking everyone who sells drugs, gets caught selling drugs, to receive the death penalty for their heinous acts, because it's the only way. We don't need any more blue ribbon committees. I don't like to say this, and I don't even know if the American public is ready for it, and a lot of my people say, please don't say that, sir, that's not nice. They kill 500 people each on average. And if you don't do this, in China, when I was with President Xi, I said, President, do you have a drug problem? No, we don't. He looked at me like I didn't know what I was doing.
They send their drugs over here. What do you say about that? Can we let that happen? The border, the border, the border, the border, the border, the border, the border. Okay, this is the stabbing and then shots fired at Target, and we'll just check before we go to see if there's any update on that, because it just happened. Like, alright. So this is a Target and a mall in Los Angeles. Shots fired. A stabbing happened. Allah Akbar, maybe. We don't know. Firemen are there. Cops are there. It's upstairs. Above Nordstrom. And we gotta find out what happened in that. Target store, Los Angeles, California. So you just highlight it, and then you right click, and then you hit search, and then you can change any time to just like the past day. And scroll. 3 people stabbed. Suspect shot. Three people were stabbed inside Target store in downtown Los Angeles Tuesday evening, police said. Investigators believe the suspect is now in custody, was shot by a security guard. LAPD officer Luis Garcia said. Officers responded to a call of a stabbing at 6:22 p.m. There is no information on the victims or suspect's condition. Who's this girl? Half naked. Most inappropriate dress on the Met Gala red carpet. Yeah, I'd say so. Putting that porno on my screen. Alright. So that's it for tonight, guys. Yeah, where's the med beds? That's what I want to know. Where's the med beds? They're bringing out the death beds. See how it's just a promise? It's just a promise that they're gonna, like, make everything better. I'm kind of concerned that no one, like, okay, Trump didn't go into the diesel problem. He skimmed over the edges of it, but he didn't get into it. He's just like the energy crisis. Oh, we got Alex Stein. See what he says. 16 more seconds.
I'm with the king. This guy is out here kicking everybody's ass. Jorge, they are afraid of you. I'm not. You know why? Because I'm a pimp on a blimp, and Jorge's got my back no matter what.
Yes, sir. Let's go, man. Keep telling the truth, Alex. Don't stop telling these motherfuckers the truth, man. Let's go.
I'm with the king.
Gangster. So this is Mar-a-Lago. This just happened. Trump's speech and everything. A crowd is formed by the exit of the ballroom as some try to leave Trump's announcement speech before he finished, but security won't let them. Now I kind of wish I stuck around for the end. Oh, this guy, Daryl Brooks. Yeah, I'm just kind of skimming over a little bit more. Just see if there was anything that popped off while we were talking.
That President Trump has a special announcement tonight, and I'll go ahead and say right now, President Trump has my full endorsement and my support as our Republican nominee in 2024. And also,
she wants to be vice president. Elon Musk, during his speech at G20, suddenly announced the acquaintance of humanity with aliens. Ooh.
Exploring.
Let's look at that yet, and then we'll end.
On the star systems, and maybe we'll find, alien civilizations, or discover alien civilizations that existed millions of years ago, may no longer exist, but we see the ruins of ancient civilizations. I think that would be incredibly interesting, just to, go out there and explore the galaxy.
Echo, echo, echo.
I see. Thank you.
I see. You look like an alien. Alright, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. If I can find my live stream here. Are you ready? Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Good night.